In a shocking video posted by Nick Sorter, Antifa, marked by feds for arrest, run behind Portland police, who then explicitly protect them from arrest by the feds. The feds are actually arguing with Portland police about this. Things are starting to get crazy. AAG Harmeet Dillon says this is why Trump needs to send in the National Guard, which is another big story. The Ninth Circuit has ruled in favor of Trump. He can deploy the National Guard. Things are getting pretty spicy, ladies and gentlemen. The DOJ has referred that No Kings protester for prosecution. DHS has referred to the DOJ the No Kings protester who is screaming for people to buy guns and shoot ICE. Holy smokes. We got a story about a U.S. Marshal and an illegal immigrant who were injured and shot in a scuffle. Things are getting spicy. And then it's kind of funny. So Trump's renovating the White House. I really don't care. I think it's a minor net positive. It's great. It's great that he's doing it, right? He's building this big, beautiful ballroom for entertaining dignitaries, foreign diplomats, and world leaders. I think that's something great for the White House to have. And the left is acting like they're angry about it. Hillary Clinton is apoplectic, saying it's not his house. Numerous presidents have renovated before. This is not the first time. It won't be the last. This is the stupidest thing ever. They need to be mad at Trump for something. So we're talking about all that, my friends, and more. Before we get started, we got a great sponsor. Take a look at this. Backyard Butchers, my friend. You guys heard of Big Pharma, of course. Have you heard of Big Ag? Some of you I know have. Did you know that 85% of American meat is controlled by just 4 major companies? Just because you buy American doesn't mean you're buying healthy. And buying organic only means they control what cattle you eat, not how they live. Backyard Butchers Texas steer steaks come directly from a real Texas ranch where cattle are raised, processed, and shipped from the same location, completely bypassing Big AG. These Texas steers are 98% grass-fed, 2% natural grain finished with no growth hormones, no antibiotics, and no preservatives. The quality and flavor are exceptional. Make America healthy again. Ma starts with going back to our roots and eating real meat from the hardworking ranchers who raise cattle right. Go to backyardbutchers.com/Tim. Enter promo code Tim for up to 30% off and 2 free 10-ounce ribeyes. Oh, man, that's amazing. And free shipping when you subscribe. Fight back against Big Ag with your fork. Support American ranchers. Support Texas. Backyardbutchers.com/Tim. Promo code Tim. And I just want to say, I used to be a filet guy, but I've been doing ribeyes now. Those big chunks of fat, you can't go wrong. But listen. After you have a big slab of meat, maybe you want to have some vegetables. Check out, this is Field of Dreams. Field of Greens. Here we go. Brick House, Field of Greens, real organic superfood. It's a drink mix. I know we all have, we have 2 ages. We have our actual age and our internal biological age. You know, Ian always talks about that, right? He claims he's younger than he is. What I didn't know is, me personally, I'm fairly certain my biological age is a little bit lower. I mean, because I drink a lot of the healthy stuff. Obviously, I sleep right. We drink the Field of Greens. I mix it in my drinks when I'm skating. And my heart rate has a higher threshold than it should for someone my age. I'll just stress that. Because Americans eat so many processed foods and not enough fruits and veggies, many, perhaps most, are 10 plus years older on the inside than their actual age. They're ticking time bombs. A major university study suggests how to slow aging and diffuse that biological time bomb. Participants slowed their aging by drinking Field of Greens. That's all. They didn't change their eating, drinking, or exercise, just Field of Greens. Each fruit and vegetable in Field of Greens was doctor selected for specific health benefits, cell health, heart, lungs, kidneys, metabolism, even healthy weight. I feel great knowing Field of Greens can slow how quickly I'm aging. And I encourage you to join me. Swap your untested fruit, vegetable, or green drink for Field of Greens while there's time. Check out fieldofgreens.com. Use promo code Tim. You can get up to 20% off. And I'll just mention this too. It's a strawberry lemonade. That's the one that I usually drink. Just watch the heart attack stream that I did when I was in Texas. My heart rate was at 188, and I am just about to turn 40 years old. So be healthy, guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. Share the show with everyone you know. We're going to have a great show, but there's a lot to discuss. Joining us tonight to talk about this and so much more is Tony Ortiz.
Glad to be here again. Thank you for having me. I'm the stand-in Mexican, the replacement Mexican.
The replacement Mexican. Yeah, we were without...
A little bit darker, a little bit browner.
Without Nick, we were like, we needed somebody who is still Mexican.
Because you had the black guy yesterday, and then you had the brown guy today, and then the gay guy later in the week.
Do we? Tomorrow... Oh, that's right. But tomorrow we do white.
Yeah.
And then, so we're going in order of, I guess,
DEI week.
Yeah, DEI week. We got to make sure everything's in order and the skin tone lightens as time goes on. Nick Fuentes was booked, and I know a lot of, this is the crazy thing because there's a lot of people that just, no matter what happens, any discussion of Nick is negative or angry. We had been talking to Nick about coming on IRL in the Culture War. We wanted to come on earlier. He couldn't make it. We booked him. I said, this is fantastic. We're finally going to have him on, IRL specifically. And then I think it was yesterday, he said he had a scheduling issue, came up, something rather important, and we'll just reschedule. And we were like, yeah, no problem. Like, that was the end of the conversation. And we're getting people being like, Tim canceled Nick. And I'm like, guys, calm down.
They're Spurgs.
Well, you got the phone call. That's what happened.
We got the phone call. Do you see Marianne Williamson tweeted that, quote unquote, MSNBC got the memo? And it's like, she deleted it right away because I think, there's an implication there. But anyway, Elaad's hanging out.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Elaad Eliyahu, the White House correspondent here at Timcast. Good to be here, and it's good to be here with you, Tony.
Yeah, we were just talking. The last time we saw each other was at CPAC, like 3-4 years ago?
It's been a while. I wanted to say before we get into it that I deeply admire your work, and I feel like your type of journalism, real journalism, where you actually, look through people's finances and keep up with the candidates who run within the state, is invaluable, and not enough people on the right are doing that reporting, and there's a big opportunity for people to do that on the right, so I commend you for your hard work.
Appreciate it.
But enough of that. Phil.
Hello, everybody. My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary. Let's get into it.
Here's a story. We have this tweet from Harmeet Dillon. She is AAG Civil Rights at the DOJ, serving under Pam Bondi. She says, this is exactly why the Ninth Circuit just said POTUS can send in the National Guard. Incredible fail. And to which she is referring is this tweet from Nick Sorter. Breaking, Portland police just provided cover to Antifa terrorists at ICE Portland who were beaming spotlights in DHS agents' eyes and shielding them from DHS. Portland police are literally aiding a terrorist group. A DHS agent came out and confronted Portland police, calling them out for allowing terrorists to hide behind them. She's literally running behind you guys. Portland police pretended like they saw nothing at all, although they were standing just 15 feet away from the assailants, which DHS had just marked with countless pepper balls, lights, and lasers over the course of several minutes. I was 3 times the distance away, and even I saw what was going on. Shameful. Something must be done with Portland police now. Let's roll tape, and you can see for yourself.
Nice aim. I love that. Whoa.
You can see they are shooting at an Antifa hiding behind street signs. The individual...
What did that person do?
Looks like they're shining something in the...
They're trying to shine a high-powered daylight. It's like a daylight flashlight, it looks like. And then they run for the police. Antifa thugs run for cover.
They're running for cover behind Portland police. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me.
Light the police up with gas.
And then look at this. From behind the police, using the daylight flashlight on the DHS agents. From behind the police.
Shoot everybody else to shoot one person. Come on.
This person did this because now DHS cannot shoot them. That was the point, that the cops are a shield.
We should be allowed to hear what the fuck they're talking
Nobody told us anything. So we're standing
DHS confronts Portland police for covering for Antifa.
She's literally running behind you guys.
And we don't know why she's running.
Moments before federal agents marked their targets and Portland police watched it happen.
Nice aim. I love that. Whoa.
Portland police lied. Again, they watched federal agents get beamed by Antifa and protected the assailants. And then they get to leave. I wouldn't be surprised if these people are working with the police directly and the cops know who they are. So I'm going to stress for everybody, we go back years, and there was that video where a cop is seen, I think it's in Seattle, and he's like yelling at the protesters, "You win, I quit, I'm leaving." And there's another video where a guy is being attacked by Antifa, and the cops jump out of their vehicle and arrest the victim. This is not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last. We saw Nick Sorter, as well as other conservatives who were just on the ground filming, get arrested. And it's because Portland police are the same as Antifa. Now, where this goes, your guess is good as mine. But I think most people are probably looking at, we're asking the obvious question. What happens when a police department is Antifa?
Do you remember during COVID, but prior to COVID, people were like, oh, cops are like naturally right-leaning. There are guys. And then COVID hit, and who was enforcing all the lockdowns? Who was arresting everybody? It was the cops. Like, at the end of the day, these guys have jobs. They take direction from the top, whoever the top is, whether it's a lefty or not, and they carry out orders, and they want to go home. They want to pay their bills, and they're going to do whatever is told to them. They're not going to hold honor to what
police
they
would
do.
respond to pepper balls just like the protesters or rioters.
During, maybe 5-10 years ago, the typical mentality of people on the right was back the blue no matter who. Then they started to discover around the George Floyd riots with COVID that many of these cops are communists. And I mean that somewhat derisively. Many of these cops are willing to march in lockstep with communist edict and shut down churches. And you had one instance where in New Jersey, a woman was forced to close her store by mandate. And so she started live streaming her store on her phone on Facebook. Cops showed up and said, stop streaming. She said, what are you talking about? I'm not even open. And they were like, you're trying to sell products. So it clearly wasn't about COVID lockdown. It was about shutting down commerce and economics. And the cops with smiles on their face did it. You had Attila's Gym. Local cops from that town were like, no, we're not going to shut it down. So they brought in other cops from outside and they said, we'll shut you down. Then all of a sudden, people started to drop the mentality of back the blue no matter who. Maybe some cops are bad people.
Yeah, the back the blue thing, it's kind of a scam because they lean whatever they want to lean, and they take direction from whoever's paying their salary, their payroll.
There's a serious issue with police departments in our country, mostly in Democrat-leaning states, that are refusing to coordinate and cooperate with ICE and DHS agents, and that makes their jobs more difficult. So I think that's what we're seeing like a breakdown of, because the DHS agents here aren't coordinating with the Portland police on the ground. They're not able to coordinate who's a threat or not. And I think a lot of these police departments are under, the illusion that these people don't hate them and they just hate the ICE agents. They need to understand that we're not very far from like the defund the police movement, and like cops and the KKK are the same thing as far as these leftist protests are concerned. So we need these police departments to cooperate and help ICE, not kind of be an obstacle in their way. They're trying to stay in the good graces of what they believe are like leftist activists and the community, but I think they're totally wrong in that belief.
They're going to be hated regardless of what they do to placate the protesters or the rioters, because the left hates any type of law enforcement overall, just broadly. The DHS agents that were up there that were shooting pepper balls at the protesters, they should have continued to shoot the pepper balls when the people went behind the police and said, sorry guys, we weren't aiming at you. Those are less than lethal. They're not going to hurt anybody. They're not actually going to injure the police. The police need to do their job.
There's no way the local cops were unaware that those shots were happening.
Yeah.
So when that woman ran towards them, I agree. The feds should not have stopped any of their enforcement action. They should have carried on standard enforcement as they normally would. I understand whether it's cops or anyone else, they're probably going to hold their fire on the pepper balls because they don't want to go after anybody else, right? They don't want to accidentally hit innocent people. But that shouldn't mean the Portland police turn this person over right away. Grab them and say, hey, you ain't playing this game with us. Instead, the cops protected her and let her go.
I mean, you had these not Portland police, but you had police and federal agency, FBI agents. Remember, they were like during the Floyd riots, they were taking a knee and they were doing all this stuff. And didn't the Trump administration just recently fire a bunch of FBI agents that were doing that? Like,
good.
The police do have political lean, and like you said, they're not all bad. But you got to keep in mind that like they do. The police are coming from the communities that they police, and sometimes they're leftists.
There's one thing that I want to push back on, the idea that they're not all bad, right? Like, it's fair to say that they're probably not strongly political, but if they're not doing their job, they're a bad cop. So allowing those people to hide behind them, they're all those people there. They're bad cops. They're not doing their job. They should be helping the federal forces. They should have wrapped those people up. So all of those people there, they're all bad cops.
I believe they're
by bad cop, I don't mean that they're corrupt or they're intentionally aiding, as in actively trying to do things to hinder what ICE is doing, but they're not helping ICE. Therefore, they're bad cops.
I think they're directed to not coordinate too with ICE, these Portland officers.
Yeah, and a video comes out and their leadership sees them coordinating with ICE, they're going to get fired or disciplined for sure.
Look, Many people kept asking me years ago, how could there possibly be a civil war if there's no factions? And it's just like, you realize factions are created. So when you have police, this is this, you know, and maybe not, but is this the first time we've seen two different police jurisdictions clash with each other in any meaningful way? Now, don't get me wrong. I remember the National Guard and federal law enforcement in Texas. You had you had Texas State Guard and you had the feds under Biden fighting over
The border stuff.
Yeah, the border, the concertina wire. In the Trump administration, we now have something similar. Honestly, anybody in chat, were there any other moments we've seen this in the riots where like two different divisions of police were like at odds with each other like this?
I don't recall ever seeing a local police force actually inhibit federal forces.
And aid and abet a criminal to escape?
Yeah, I've never.
This is how you get factions, because you have the federal government and the state government. And the state government, even the local cops, are saying no to the feds as if they are a different body. It used to be that they were like, we work together. State law enforcement and federal law enforcement would cooperate on things. I suppose the worst case scenario was that, like in the movies, the feds would come in and be like, step aside, it's our crime scene now. And they'd be like, you can't take this crime scene from me. Now it's like, I'm not stepping aside. Ma'am, you're free to go. Do something about it. What's the next phase?
Those Portland cops looked very satisfied that those Antifa were directing their anger towards the DHS agents and not them.
Insurrection Act.
Yeah.
That's literally what is on deck, or what the proper course. If they're not actually behaving in a legal way, then the federal government is empowered to carry out the laws passed by Congress.
I want to jump to this tweet from Mr. Andy No. He says a trans activist in Portland has put a hit list graphic of me and others, putting me at the highest threat level and suggesting others take action. Take a look at this graphic.
What are those
Threat
threat
level
levels?
red.
There's red, and then what? There's like
yellow,
yellow,
light orange, red.
I wonder who got insulted with the lowest.
Yeah, who got
threat
yellow?
level.
Yeah, I want to know who got threat level yellow.
I doubt
That's you, Tony.
anybody.
Yeah,
You're yellow,
yellow
type
yellow.
threat level.
So there's also this, which appears to be on a light post, and you can see there's Nick Shirley. Congratulations, Nick. I can't read the rest of them. What is that? I can't read that one. Thomas Allen, Black Rebel. Oh, Cam Higbee. Hey, Cam, how's it going? Leftists in these areas are putting up flyers to target people for physical violence, attack, or otherwise. Portland is in a very, very strange place right now. There was this Jubilee put out a debate between two leftists and two conservatives, and one of the debate things, one of the subjects was that Portland is a war zone. Portland's population has collapsed over the past few years. People are fleeing Portland because you can't run your business, and the leftists are like, but crime is actually down. And I'm like, I don't care. If you have 10 Antifa that keep terrorizing the downtown and commerce is down, crime isn't the issue. So Trump needs to send in the National Guard, invoke the Insurrection Act. And I honestly think the only way we get out of this is if Trump actually, I don't know, I think it's Insurrection Act, commandeers the local government, and then has new elections and cleans everything up.
Have we seen that, like, in modern times, Insurrection Act?
Insurrection Act, yes. LA riots, easy example. We had the National Guard sent in. I think it was Obama in Ferguson during the Michael Brown riots. But the bigger question is not so much whether Trump will invoke the Insurrection Act, is whether he will go in, remove a mayor and governor from power and their assemblies and their council and say, it is time for a new election because this is criminal. This is corrupt. That's the only way you get out of it. What's going to happen? The feds are going to keep saying, don't break the laws, and then no one does anything?
Well, with their sanctuary city policies, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, that's how it's looking. Like nobody's going to cooperate. The local police won't cooperate with you. You know, they did a raid recently. DHS did in New York City on Canal Street. And then I saw almost immediately after the NYPD wanted to make sure, nobody's blaming for this, them for this. So they sent out a tweet that said the NYPD had no involvement in the federal operation that took place on Canal Street this afternoon. Like, these cops are really trying hard to distance themselves from other law enforcement activity. They're not going to protect them. They're not going to collaborate with them. And if people come and protest and riot against them, they're just going to, I guess, stand by.
I'm over it. Take them over. Like, guys, This was Sam Hernandez was covering this. It's like what was it, like a black market thing going on?
Canal Street in New York City. Canal Street's notorious for having these fakes being sold on the streets by definitely illegal aliens from God knows where in Africa.
And when the feds came and shut it down, local police were sure to tell the world, we allow black market illegal immigrant, crime to surge and run rampant, and we are proud of it.
Yeah, you could sell fake merchandise on the street. You could sell fake Gucci bags.
Yeah.
Trump needs to invoke the Insurrection Act. I get it. He's biding his time, whatever. Maybe when winter comes, he'll be a bit more heavy-handed because then you don't get riots in the winter. And so the concern right now is if Trump makes a bold move like sending in the troops, you will get mass riots.
That would be good.
Do it in the winter, nothing happens.
Yeah, that would be nice to see some kind of, increase in enforcement because the Antifa people are kind of scared of the cold.
What's his last term? You can kind of get away with doing anything, right? Don't have to worry about running for re-election.
Well, actually, he can't get away with anything. If Trump does not win and he leaves office, the first thing that's going to happen is going to get locked up. He'll be put in prison. His supporters, his confidants, everybody who's aligned with him knows this. So there is no question that Trump must crush the multicultural democracy of America. That's what we call him. I don't think Democrat accurately reflects what we're talking about. So I'm going to just use Stephen Marsh's description, the multicultural democracy of America versus the constitutional republic of America. If Trump leaves office, and Democrats win, we'll all be in a gulag. And it's not an exaggeration. We're well past this point. I hope people wake up to the fact that they arrested Trump's lawyers.
Yep.
They hunted down Trump supporters across the country for nonviolent trespassing. Yeah, I'm not talking about the rioters, gents. I'm talking about the trespassing. People who walked in there had no idea what was going on. Hunted down. They created a fake operation accusing prominent media personalities of being involved in a Russian influence scheme. Yours truly. And we know it was fake. Fabricated. Just to steal an election and malign people. What do you think they're going to do once they get power? If they get power back? So Trump has no choice but to absolutely crush this rogue element of the United States.
Yeah, they have to do everything they can to prevent the left from having that kind of power again, and in the hopes that there is a moderate left, but I don't see a moderate left, starting to form. The Democrats continue to kick out the moderates. With Fetterman, they're talking about booting Fetterman. All the Democrats that are former Democrats that are currently in the Trump administration that left the Democrat Party. Like the way that it seems to be going or has been going for the better part of the past 10 years or longer is people that are reasonable in the Democrat Party, as the Democrats get more extreme and more radical, they just leave. And that's something you see, we hear people talk about, don't leave New York, don't give up New York, don't let the left just take over things. But that's kind of what's been happening. People have left the blue states and they've gone to Florida, they've gone to Texas. And you leave these kind of Democrat enclaves that are full of people with terrible policies. And you can't just let the left take the government, because when they're in government, they use the IRS. They use the DHS.
It's just over. At this point, based on what they've done in the previous administration, and now Trump's response, if Trump pulls a half measure and loses, we're cooked. Yeah, I've been having the conversation around security quite a bit, and I was talking to my wife about this. I said, "There's no running. There's literally no running. We're talking about the United States of America. If it gets taken over by psycho lefty commies, there's nowhere for you to go. They're going to come. They're going to find you. You will be a dissident of the state. You'll be an enemy. They're going to target people of. This is what we see in these revolutions. They go after those who have the ability to rally, who have charisma, who have political leadership, and they remove them from the chessboard. So there's no running. There's only winning.
And if anything ever happened to you, they'd call you a Russian agent after your passing. That's what they'd say. I mean,
they're evil. The Biden administration fabricated a fake criminal case with two people no one's ever heard of, without any real evidence, and then used it to hold a press conference accusing me, Benny, Dave, and others of being involved in some kind of Russian disinformation plot, despite the fact, Dave being the best example, He was hosting, was effectively America's Funniest Home Videos. He was reacting to viral content, did it for a year and stopped. Nothing was political. The Culture War podcast that we'd licensed was largely apolitical. Talk about UFOs, flat earth, just goofy subjects. They faked the whole thing, and then after they lost the election, they dropped it.
Not to mention that we love Ukraine and the president should definitely send over some tomahawks to Ukraine. He's flip-flopped so many times all over on that position. I'm sorry, I just feel like I had to bring that part up.
Yeah, I just think that now that we have factions. It's happened. Trump has said Pritzker and Mayor Johnson in Chicago should be in prison. You've got far leftists in Portland working with the police and the police working with them. Police and Antifa in Portland are one and the same. And I don't know what I'm over is this. No, come on, it's a one-off. It's nothing. We've seen enough. They arrested Nick Sorter when he got attacked. There's another guy who hit with a rock. They arrested him too. The victims are getting arrested and the perpetrators are being protected by the police because the police are Antifa.
Yeah, I mean, it's not new is another thing. There are people that still deny. I mean, we've had podcasts where people came on and the whole point was, are the right targeted? And they would sit there and deny. But, there's so much evidence so many times that have been documented, whether it be, again, the IRS, or you're talking about FEMA when they were deciding not to help Trump supporters in the same way they were helping people that didn't have Trump signs on their front lawn, or you talk about the feds targeting parents that didn't want their kids to be taught certain political ideologies in school, and they were monitoring them, or you're talking about the federal government going and monitoring people and journalists and stuff. This is not new, and it is only going to get worse should the Democrats get into positions of authority.
Well, I think it's going to get worse regardless.
Well,
they're not in power now, and it's getting worse. And the issue is that in the states where they do have power, this is one of the questions I got asked about Pritzker. Does he actually care about these issues and side with these people, or is he just anti-Trump? And I'm like, they're the same thing. He is agreeing with them because it's anti-Trump. He is supporting them because it's the appropriate political move to make. Newsom does not care what makes the country better. He cares what gives him power. So he's simply being like, I don't care what happens, but it's going to be really funny when the pitchfork mobs turn on sleazy, slick Newsom and he starts running frantic. It's like that remember when the riots happened and there's a guy in Beverly Hills who was like, yeah, riot, burn it down. And he was tweeting this and he was like, hey, wait a minute. Why are you coming here? No, go back downtown. Oh, no, they're climbing the walls. Get out of here. Yeah, he loved it when they were burning other people's neighborhoods down. Yeah. That's what's going to happen to Newsom and Pritzker. These people don't get it. And all of these run-of-the-mill lefties like in Portland, they're all like this woman she was fat. She eats a lot. What's going to happen when they can't get food? They're going to be like, man, this sucks. The problem is, you guys ever try arguing with someone who's real dumb?
Every day.
It gets frustrating, right? Because they're too stupid to understand what you're saying. So it's like yelling at a brick wall. The problem is when these people start starving and getting angry, instead of recognizing it's their own retardation, they're going to blame you and they're going to go and storm your house, try to steal your food. They're going to be like, food comes from the grocery store and you're stopping it. And we're going to be like, bro, I'm not a farmer. And they're going to be like, no, and then they're going to attack you.
We had this recently. There's a guy running for office, James Tallarico.
The guy who was cheating on his wife who lit herself on fire?
No, this guy's single.
Okay. Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a Democrat. So he's a hardcore, far leftist Democrat. But
is he a good guy or a bad guy?
He's a Democrat. But we have the state fair of Texas, like a big thing, and the prices have gone up dramatically. I think a turkey leg is like almost $30 now. And he was blaming the price increase on tariffs. He was like, oh, Oreo cookies are going up because of tariffs. These turkey legs are going up, these drinks at the state fair. And it's like, where are you importing these turkey legs that tariffs are affecting it? And it's just like, to your point, it's just all become anti-Trump. Everything is just anti-Trump.
Turkeys are from China.
Right.
We don't have turkeys here.
Yeah.
The Pilgrims, when they first came here on the first Thanksgiving, it was the Native Americans had imported turkey from China. And what we celebrate on Thanksgiving is free trade.
Yeah, those Chinese turkeys hit different.
The Pilgrims were starving because of the tariffs, and the Native Americans negotiated a free trade agreement and were able to bring turkeys. That's what he clearly meant.
But yeah, everything's just anti-Trump. It's just there's no other position, just anti-Trump. Because you don't meet any Democrats that are like, you know what, I don't have a problem with Trump, I just have a problem with some of these policies.
Trump is the sun of our current political climate. Everybody just orbits around him.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the way people are responding to the beginning of the work on the ballroom at the White House. They're acting as if Donald Trump is just bulldozing the White House and like he's going to put like a new Trump Tower there. Like this thing is going to look like a part of the White House. The architecture and the structure itself is going to be fitting to. It's going to fit with the rest of the White House. It's not like this is some kind of terrible destructive thing. He's not maliciously destroying stuff. But people are behaving as if it's.
Yeah, let's pull this up. We got the story from Daily Mail. Hillary Clinton melts down over Trump's big, beautiful White House ballroom. I think they got a picture of it. And before I show you here's the renovations. They're tearing down portions of it. And there's more pictures. I think there's a mock-up online somewhere of what they expect it to look like. I thought they had it on. So this looks nice.
Is that it?
No, this is the East Wing. And it's decorated for Christmas last year. There you go. These are the designs for the ballroom. That's incredible.
It looks better than Obama's library. Have you seen him?
Oh, yeah.
at construction?
Obama's library looks like it should be in Star Wars.
I don't understand why. I get it. So when I heard Trump was building a ballroom, I went, oh, because presidents have always renovated the White House. People don't know this. Elaad knows this. The White House is actually a complex. It's not. You see the picture on the TV, and there's like the front of the building. What is it? The White House like 10 times bigger than that or more?
It's gigantic, and there's a few different wings to it. And this is actually long overdue. A lot of different parts of the White House needs renovations. I just don't ever think it's politically popular for a president to announce it while he's in office. It looks like self-serving to like build up his own White House, like where he's staying. So I think he's the only president that would be able to do this and deal with the political consequences of it.
My point is, people need to realize that the White House complex is massive, and I mean, let me just actually look up how many square feet it is. How many square feet White House complex? And so the point is, these liberals, Hillary Clinton comes out and she has this stupid tweet because she's nuts and it's really funny, and I want to make fun of her. It's not his house, it's your house, and he's destroying it. Aw, Hillary, are you mad because it's not your house? Yeah, poor Hillary. She'll never get to be president, and she's whinging about it. Many presidents have renovated the house. Taft, FDR, Trump's putting in a ballroom, and I think it's very appropriate. How many square feet White House?
Elaad, what was it before they took it down? Was it a ballroom?
It was the East Wing.
It was the East
But like,
Wing.
what was in there?
The First Lady's office. That's what we were showing. So he's going to put a ballroom in there. I think it's fantastic because this means that they can entertain foreign dignitaries, princes, kings, politicians, prime ministers.
What they've been doing prior to this is they were literally putting up a big tent on the White House grounds. So this is something that's actually necessary. And you at least you listen to some some Washington insiders, and they talk about the air conditioning in the tent was not particularly good because obviously a tent is not a sealed building, so it was uncomfortable in the summer. If they did anything in the winter, it would end up, or in the fall and stuff, sometimes it could be cold and uncomfortable. So this is something that makes perfect sense for the White House to have functions on the White House grounds, so that way the Secret Service can make sure that it's secure. They don't have to go somewhere else. It's honestly a no-brainer. And the usual suspects, the people like JoJo from Jers and the Lincoln Project retards, like they're all saying things like, "Oh, this is so terrible, and I hate Donald Trump for this," and blah blah blah. In 10 years. People are going to look back and they're going to say, that's a great addition.
Yes, that's only because the left has to be crushed.
Yeah.
Because if the Democrats win, they're going to bulldoze the ballroom and call it fascist.
That would
When's it supposed to be done? When's the
I don't know for sure, but I want to say this. The executive residence is 55,000 square feet, 6 floors, and there's plans for an additional 90,000 square foot ballroom. This is just between that, it's 145,000 square feet. We don't actually have a full, there's no public information on the full square footage of the White House complex, but it's got to be several 100,000 square feet, I'd imagine. It's massive. I mean, there's offices there. People work there. There's a basement. There's a bowling alley. Is it like a movie theater too?
There's a massive complex. As press, they only let us in like a small little press area and a small room, but it's a very large compound that they have over there. It's fascinating too because the president isn't only upgrading the White House for future presidents. He's also upgrading Air Force One.
Right. What's the upgrades on that? Like what's?
Oh well, the plane. They're getting a new plane.
Oh.
I thought that they weren't going to from the UAE, or was it?
From Qatar. They're still accepting it.
They are. Are they actually going to make that into Air Force One?
Yeah, allegedly.
I think it's
Yeah, and the president was really happy about it. You guys don't remember that?
I do remember. I thought that it was going to not actually happen. I thought that plane was going to go to the.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be his personal plane or something like that.
No, he wouldn't be able to accept it as that. And then I believe he said it was going to be a replacement for Air Force One, which is dilapidated. I haven't been on that,
I don't know if it's actually dilapidated. I've
been told
that's a strong word.
I've heard it's an old plane.
Well, 747. It's not a new model. That's for
Is
sure.
there a higher chance you'll be on it now?
I can go on. It's just extremely expensive.
Oh, really?
They make you pay for the tickets.
Has to pay to get on?
Yeah, and it's a first class price for wherever you go. And then there's other associated fees and stuff. But
so the White House itself, not the whole complex, just the building with the East Wing, the Oval Office, is probably like 200,000 square feet with the addition of the ballroom. It's going to be around there. So that's going to be actually fairly large. It may actually be around 200, the whole thing. But then you've got the attached offices that connect to the buildings as well. So it's pretty big.
The Oval Office is actually pretty small. When you're in it, it feels actually very tiny, and it looks bigger on TV.
The photos look pretty cramped, actually, because you see all those press like on top of each other.
I always thought they kind of took wide shots. And you saw he celebrated Diwali?
Who?
The president did in the Oval Office. I don't know what I think it's a Hindu holiday.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Did you enjoy that?
Well, I don't know what they actually celebrate for Diwali.
Were you there?
No, but I did watch it.
Did they give you presents?
I tried to get in, but they didn't. I couldn't
really?
get credentials.
Diwali?
Well, no, they shuffle in like the people who they allow in for all the press events. They let
Was it here who thought you were Indian? Sean.
He's Iraqi.
that
He's not
guy.
Indian.
That guy.
That guy.
You thought I was Asian.
I thought you were Asian, yeah. Well, I thought you could have been like a halfie. It's your eye.
No.
You're above
That's offensive. It's Hapa.
a hapa.
Yeah.
Like your eyelids kind of look similar to Tim's, who has the Asian in him. Do you know what I'm talking about? I think there's a word for it, but it's like I don't know,
double
this
eyelids?
part,
Slope?
double slit
I'm allowed to say that, right?
eyelid.
Because I'm Asian.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
That was the offensive term. Is that what it was? What does that mean?
What?
Slope.
Oh, is it?
I think
Is that
like
offensive?
double eye slit or.
Double eyelid. That's where the people like the
say
Koreans
whatever
get the
you want.
surgery.
You look like you have a hint.
It's
You
a
know,
racial slur for Asian people, referring to the slanted shape of their eyes. But I'm Asian.
So you can say it.
I can say that. That's my word.
One out of 10
guys can say
Mexicans
slopa.
looks Asian. Are you Mexican?
Yeah, Mexican and
Yeah,
Spanish.
you know what I'm talking about. One out of
have no idea
every
what you're
so
talking
often, you'll come across a Mexican that looks like a Filipino.
I have this.
That's called mestizos, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I have this 23andMe, right? And so like every once in a while I get an update, and like I just got an update like I think a month ago. I have a Japanese cousin.
Okay, there you go.
What?
Yeah, it's
Not
kinda
through
wild.
your wife's side.
No, not
Just
through
you.
my side.
Okay, there you go.
So
That's
Maybe
where you
you're
get
onto
that double slit from.
something like that.
Double
Double
slit.
slit.
That's an experiment. That is not a.
Oh, okay,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
double
that's
slit
the
experiment.
I'm giving Elaad
Elad
the double slits pass. He's allowed to say. Actually, did you guys ever see that college humor thing about mixed race Asians and what you're allowed to say depending on the amount of Asian you are? It's really funny. There's like a guy who comes in, he's like, I'm 1/8 Asian, and they're like, okay, you're allowed to brag about how good at cooking your grandmother was, but not in the presence of people who are more Asian than you. Like they were giving him rules. It's really, really funny. Yeah, so I don't know if I have. So I was doing this shoot for Fusion several years ago on Cop Watch, and one of the women who was working on Cop Watch was like full Korean or something, and she was talking about discrimination for being Asian. And then when I mentioned my family experienced discrimination as well, she immediately started insulting me, and she was like, "You're white. What do you know? You have no idea what I'm talking about." And I was like,
Never
"My
happened.
family's mixed race," and she was like, "I don't care. You're not Asian enough."
You're not Asian.
I was
passing.
like, what? These people are crazy.
Yeah, look, I mean, you should be able to honestly, like, you should be able to like make all the jokes you want. They're just jokes, but I know they're.
Oh, bro, Instagram has just gotten so insane,
Instagram.
especially with Sora. There's a video I was like, Instagram recommends all this stuff to me because I don't they just do, and one of them it's Olympics, and there's like a bunch of white dudes with like, and it's got American flags by their names, and they run through what looks like a small, like it's like an Olympic running track, but there's waterfalls, and then like. Some white dudes run through it, and then some black dudes run through it, and then when the Indians get to it, they stop and they freeze at the wall.
Shower Olympics.
Yeah, and for real. And then the announcers are like, "Oh no, they're stuck. They can't make it through." And the guy like is shaking and scared to do it.
Damn, on Diwali. We're
Oh,
making
bro, you
Indian
have no
jokes
idea.
on Diwali. This guy.
I'm not making jokes. I am criticizing the offensive racist Instagram videos.
Oh, okay, yeah. On to why.
Nah, they're
I
all
can't
funny.
believe Instagram's pushing that trash.
Everyone's allowed to make jokes. It's funny. I don't care. They make jokes about white people all the time. There's really funny ones where it's like morbidly obese white people on Rascals are buying Pop-Tarts. And I'm like, yep, that's America. And then,
A lot of America.
Yeah, there's a bunch of funny ones.
The Instagram algorithm's been a little bit racy for me.
Remember, it's not
Racy.
It's not racist. It's racial.
I thought they were just feeding me the Jew stuff because I'm Jewish. I thought that's why I just got
watching
all the. Maybe that's what it is.
Is it just like your feed is just Fuentes nonstop?
Well, it's both like stuff in Hebrew and then not even Fuentes stuff. Just a lot of like
they translated
George
Fuentes
Floyd
to
and
Hebrew.
Robot and like Charlie.
Those are
Kirk
good
is a
videos. Those are pretty
robot
funny
and, like,
videos, though.
You know which ones
Floyd
I'm talking
9000
about?
or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's endless on Instagram.
It's that AI slob.
My buddy
It's crazy.
Louis Schenker, I don't know if you know him, he sends me a lot of those Floyd 9000 videos. They're pretty entertaining.
But now they're putting Charlie Kirk in it. And now there's
Yeah,
videos
right.
of like Charlie Kirk and George Floyd like dancing together and stuff.
Well, they have the same birthday, so I think that's how that started.
It's just intentionally offensive.
Did you get a Patriot fact check on that?
No, that sounds like fake news they're using to like
No, it's true.
to
It's
make
real
these guys
news, man.
star-crossed.
It's true. What do you
It's
mean?
real news.
Star-crossed like the wise.
Yeah, Serge, can you look that up? I feel like that's fake news. Serge
It's
says,
true.
nah, all right, we'll
It was
just
October
roll with it.
14th, right?
Something like this, October something. It's
Yeah.
real news, man.
You know, all
need
the
a Patriot
George
fact check.
Floyd, the pro George Floyd people are all
Yeah, George Floyd, October 14th.
Damn, I don't know what that
Yeah, they
means, but
I mean, George Floyd was older. He was 46. You know,
And he did drugs.
he did.
Yeah, there was that.
He chewed on a speedball.
Can you guys really imagine that Santos got pardoned before Derek Chauvin? It's kind of crazy.
Santos
huh?
should have never been removed.
Well, he had his
from
sentence
Congress.
communicated or
Commuted.
rather.
Well, yeah. Why won't?
Commuted.
I guess you know who was it? Who was on the show? Was it? It might have been Milo or someone saying, "Take one for the team. You can't get pardoned, Chauvin." No, it was Gavin. Was it Gavin McInnes?
Yep.
He was like, knock down a wall, double his cell, bring in some beautiful women for him, and say, "Take one for the team. You're staying in prison, but you know we'll make it nice for you."
Expect one of us in the wreckage.
But Chauvin was married and his wife left him. Oh, is that what he said?
No, that's what I'm saying.
It's from
They expect
Dark
one of
Knight,
us
right?
in
Yeah,
the-
Dark Knight, yeah.
Yeah, that scene when he's like, "No, brother, they expect one of us in the wreckage." What was with Tom Hardy's accent in that movie?
That wasn't Tom Hardy.
It wasn't.
They had to redub the whole thing
the
because
director
they
didn't
originally
like
filmed it.
his
They
I
voice.
thought
couldn't
he
hear it.
redubbed it.
He did it, and then someone else redubbed it because the
Yeah.
director.
Talking like this.
Yeah, he didn't think that he sounded tough enough or
That
whatever.
didn't sound tough.
Crazy.
Sounded like there was a chipmunk with his cheek stuffed with acorns trying to talk to me. That's The Dark Knight Rises.
It's a great movie. You can watch like
The Dark Knight I like. Dark Knight Rises.
I like the new one with Patterson.
Oh, that was
emo.
terrible.
Oh, I love emo Batman. It's so good. You're crazy.
Emo Batman who sucks.
It's good. No, he's like more of a detective. He's
Nah.
less like he's
The
less
point of
superhero-y.
Batman was always that when he became Batman, he is peak human. That's what his superpower is.
No, that's
described
Captain
as.
America.
No, that's Captain America Super Soldier.
Yeah.
Batman super. So in the comic book lore, there are many heroes like Green Arrow and Batman, who's in their listed abilities, as written in comics, it's called peak human or peak
yeah.
fitness. That they are the strongest, fastest, and smartest a human can be, and so that Batman isn't supposed to screw up and miss his grapple and then fall down. Like, I don't want to watch that, bro. If I want to watch someone flop around and scroll, I'll watch Elaad scoot. You know what I mean? When I watch a movie, it's supposed to be magic. It's supposed to be better than normal. I don't want to watch failure.
Like normie
This is
Batman.
woke. This is woke.
It's hard being the only person at this company who doesn't skate. I swear to God, that's the in here.
I don't skate.
I don't skate. Yeah.
Well, that's why you don't have the
Bill's
real
being
in
modest.
here.
He rips.
What?
That's why you don't have the real in here. No, you shred. You look like you could
You play guitar though.
not skateboard,
does
rollerblade. You look like you could be a rollerblader. I see it in you. It's an insult, by the way.
Never done. Yeah, I know.
But you know, I want to stress this too before we go to the next segment. The hero's journey that we often enjoyed, the stories lifted, like showed kids you want to be the best, you want to be the hero, you want to overcome. And when the woke stuff started to become prevalent, it's all now about being a failure, being a loser. Batman sucks. They made a movie where Batman sucks. Like there's that.
Talking about Patterson?
Yeah, the scene where Catwoman says something about the patriarchy or whatever.
Yeah.
He tries to fire the grappling hook and misses and falls down.
Then he gotten shot by a shotgun like 5 times.
Get outta
before that.
here.
I don't know. I
outta
like
here.
emo Batman. I like
Nah,
emo Batman.
I don't, and
Christian Bale, his knees bust and he puts a thing on it and it goes, he's like, because he's supposed to be
He
bigger.
was the
and better.
best Batman. I think Christian Bale was the best Batman in my opinion.
Maybe.
Who?
He was the best.
Christian Bale was good. Honestly, I'm a fan of Bat Affleck.
Oh, I didn't like it.
Yeah, Ben Affleck was good.
I thought he was really good.
It's good. Let's speaking of this, let's jump to this next story. This is from Not the Bee. We're going to Canada, everybody, so strap in. We got a long way to go. Canadian city tells disarmed citizenry their homes belong to native tribes after pivotal court ruling. Ramifications across the country. Imagine one day you get a letter in the mail and it says, "You are now on Native American land. We gave it back." This is what's happening. Not a joke. Here's the letter from the city of Richmond. Here we go. Please take note that the recent BC Supreme Court decision, Cowichan Tribes v. Canada, made some very important decisions which could negatively affect the title to your property. A briefing paper prepared by the City of Richmond staff is attached to your reference. If you look at the draft map attached to the briefing, your property is located within the claim area outlined in green. For those whose property is in the area outlined in black, the court has declared aboriginal title to your property, which may compromise the status and validity of your ownership. This was mandated without any prior notice to the landowners. The entire area outlined in green is claimed on appeal by the Cowichan First Nations. Given the serious implications of this court decision and the pending appeal, the city is hosting an information session, blah, blah, blah. Please call this number. Well, they got the map in here. If your property is located within this black area, they just ruled by court order, you are no longer in the United States. You are now on the land of the Cowichan tribes, and they own your house.
That's awesome.
In the green area, the Cowichan is appealing, saying this whole area belongs to them. Why? Because in the 1800s and before, they had what's called the summer village. The Cowichan natives in the summer would come here and fish before leaving. Therefore, it's their land. And when the white settlers came and built there, they did it without proper transfer of title. Therefore, your land is now their land. Your home is now theirs. Congratulations.
It was promised to them 300 years ago.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If there's competing tribes, can they like fight each other for this land? Like, if you have different Indian
I think,
tribes, like
yeah, the court
sticks.
should,
that would
bow and arrow.
Yeah, I want to see that.
You know what they used to do? They would take an arrow and they would roll it in dung.
Yeah,
And they would
infect them.
Chemical warfare.
Yeah.
Exactly, because then one hit, you were dead. Like you hit in the arm, you die. Just a matter of time. That's
That's
crazy.
before like antiseptics, right? Like
Yeah.
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 If that went in you, the infection was unstoppable. That's crazy.
Yeah, you turn to your buddy like, "Hey, take a dump on this thing real quick before I shoot it at the white man."
Ew.
Before I shoot it at the
So what did they do here? They eminent domained it?
The natives were like, "Hey, yo, that's my land," and the court was like, "Yes." Well, hey, look, I said this. Okay, King Charles gave Canada back. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. King Charles showed up and he's like, "I'd like to acknowledge we are on the unceded lands of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people," and it's like
Unreal.
he gave it back.
Unreal.
You know what I think? If they do give this to Native Americans and it becomes native lands, I think the U.S. government should invade it.
Yeah. The U.S. government, if
Canada has no claim to it.
If that's the way they behave, the U.S. government should just invade Canada and take it and say, you don't care about
No,
it.
Stop, Phil. They wouldn't be invading Canada. They would airdrop into the Cowichan tribal lands.
Look, I've seen these Native Americans. They're a little on the larger
beachhead.
side. I don't know if they could put up much of a fight.
No, not the Canadian ones.
Oh, they're
Yeah, in Canada, they're all like 6'6" and super
Really?
ripped, even the women. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm like, oh damn.
Remember, no voting rights. We're just taking their property because they obviously can't. They can't defend it. They don't care about it.
Well, listen. My argument is this. You got one group of people that said, "Yar, we're going to steal your land." I don't know if that's how they talk. I just assume that's their accent. And then the Canadians are like, "Oh no, our lands are under attack." What kind of attack are they bringing? They've signed pieces of paper. Run away, give the land back. So in terms of conquest, this historically may be the lightest warfare ever. They showed up and run a piece of paper. It's ours, and the people there went, "Drat! We lose."
They've been disarmed, so they have no ability to defend it.
I'm talking about the Canadian government. If the degree of defense they offer up is, well, you said it's yours, I guess it is, then why can't the U.S. just take it?
It's you were mean to me, so you owe me this. You were mean. It was literally negged into giving that.
Well, I mean, no, they used it historically, which means at one point it was their land. Their argument is, hey, we used to fish here. That's literally their argument. My argument is, if the Canadian defense of their conquered lands is as if you say it's yours, we'll give it to you, the U.S. can just call them on the phone and be like, that land's actually ours. And they'll go, rats. The Native Canadians, I say Native Americans, but the indigenous are going to be like, it's ours. But the U.S. government can be like, hey, look, been there, done that. Let's just move past the part where people get hurt. I say we take it.
Yeah.
we'll be greeted as we'll be greeted as liberators by the Canadians.
They just can't vote.
I mean, here's the funny thing, actually. If, like, I know it's never going to happen, and I'm kidding, by the way, but imagine the hypothetical where U.S. just airdrops troops onto that land. They then go to the door, knock on the door, and they say, we're American, military. We're giving the option right now. Swear allegiance to the United States of America, and this will stay your land, and we will protect it. Or let the Cowichan take it over. Which one will they pick?
I don't know.
Not the Cowichan?
Yeah. I mean, what would you rather do? Let the American military secure your property and let you keep it and live there forever? Or let the court give your land away, make you homeless, and give it to the indigenous?
I have a feeling that there are enough, considering the things that I've seen coming out of Canada lately, I think that the Canadians, as long as Trump's the president commanding the military that would be doing the occupation, I think they'd be like, no, we're going to give it back. We don't want Trump here. Give our property to the,
I don't know about that.
To the natives.
This is like a rural, small...
What are the demographics of this area?
That's a good point.
I want to know the demographics.
Lands of Tiuktinis claim area. So let me pull this up on the maps.
I think we need to make sure that we are shutting down the drug trade totally from here. So if we see any boats in this area, we might need to start blasting at them. I'm pretty sure that's where this is headed. We might need to do regime change over in the lands of... To
Quintas.
To Quintas.
All right.
That looks like a young black woman's name.
Blundell and number 6.
Quisha.
I can't. Right?
How dare you?
To Quintas.
On this holy day of what is it? What's the Indian holiday today?
Diwali.
Diwali. Yeah.
Serge, can you look up what we celebrate on Diwali?
Oh, hey, this is crazy. There's
like a Santa.
There's big corporations right here.
Like which ones?
So there's Western Canada Express Trucking Company, and there's Container World's forwarding services. There's what is this? There's a
it's revenge for the trucker protests.
Post
we short all these
2000
businesses?
terminals. It's like it's shipping. It's a port where they bring in shipping containers.
Can we short all these businesses really quick? Like,
yo, what's going to happen is the tribes that get this land are just going to be like, no, keep doing what you're doing, but pay taxes.
yeah, Indian tax.
Sure.
40%. And not the
I don't even know how many houses are actually here though, because I'm looking at it.
A nice casino on the river.
Blundell is the barrier. There's like no houses there. It's a golf course. Uh-oh.
So
oh, okay. No, that's plenty of houses.
So they're gonna inherit all these businesses,
dude. That's crazy.
Damn, I'd have to be like, come and take it. Come and take my home. And I tell them to take a look at what happened to the Palestinians when they try to take my home.
Bro. What if it turns out like the people who live there are Jewish?
Nah, not. There are no Jews in Canada. That's they probably are.
or if they were black.
No, I don't care.
Imagine if all these people were black business owners. Oh man,
I don't even. There are very few black people in Canada.
Really?
I can't believe most of these Canadian stories about Native Americans, because a few years ago there was like some story about how under a school there were like dozens of corpses allegedly of Native American children that they were like they genocided, and then it turned out the whole thing turned out to be like a huge stupid hoax.
Yeah,
they're gonna find out years from now
for,
this
I
like
forgot
permission
what.
slip they have.
You remember that? It was.
No, they're gonna find out years from now this permission slip they have for this land is fake. They're gonna be like, oh yeah,
they made it up.
I saw
so there's
just drafted it in the bathroom real quick, and
there's like a renovation company.
Real.
Like there's a grocery store. Is that a grocery store? Looks like it. Can I? Oh, it's a tennis court. Oh, look at this. Let's go to Canada. I'm dropping in. A lot of trees. I guess all the people who live here now are. It's for sale. Remax. Well, this is what they want for you here in America.
Yes.
If the left ever takes over, they're going to take your home from you. They even remember when Ben and Jerry's was like land acknowledgement, the land we're on for our ice cream or whatever, and it's like, well, give it back.
Aren't they
Give it
doing
away.
really poorly now? Ben and Jerry's. I can't
Are they?
remember. I forgot.
Ben and Jerry's is awful.
I think the ice cream is still doing all right.
Is it?
I hate Stephen Colbert.
No,
and I hate Ben and Jerry's. But
I don't believe so. I believe that I would be willing to bet. Let me check. Are Ben and Jerry's sales down? The reason why like soda sales are down, younger people aren't buying trash anymore. They're taking their health very seriously.
Yeah, drinking's down, cigarettes are down.
Booze, man. Well, I've been
doing
saying
Zyn though.
Sure, but we used to. So at the old studio, we had this nice bar with expensive booze, and people would periodically pour like a scotch or something, and then slowly over time, nobody was drinking it. In fact, we've been here now. It's been what, a year and a half at the new studio, and we still have the bottle of Louis from years ago back at the castle untouched because nobody drinks. People started coming and they'd be like, no, I stopped drinking. And we stopped buying. We were like, okay. We used to, like every 4 months, we'd go to this liquor store and buy some like low to high end, a few high end and a lot of like mid-tier drinks for people. Nobody drank.
Yeah, drink is more of a social thing. I think more people prefer like eating good food. Like if I had to choose between going out for drinks with friends or going out to get like really, really good food, I'm going to choose the food.
Look, I think it speaks to the company you keep, and you guys seem like you spend a lot of. You're both married men, not spending a lot of time with degenerates, which is great. Probably health conscious.
Work in politics.
I spent a lot of time in New York City, and now I spend a lot of time in DC. There are a lot of drunk degenerates. The bars are always full to the brim, and
Are they liberal?
I know a lot of people. No, like right wingers drink.
To some degree, you're right.
A lot.
To some
Not the
degree,
ones that come on this show, to be honest.
to some degree, you're right. But I've spent plenty of time around people that drink plenty of booze in my time, being in a band and touring and stuff. I mean, there's people in my band that, would have a couple once in a while, but essentially they don't really drink. I haven't had anything considerable to drink in almost 10 years, so.
Statistically, drinking is down, though. It is down.
I just want to add to, for those that, now that we're in the middle of the show, for those that saw my tweet where I said I was going to be on the ground in Portland, I'm trolling. And I'm telling you all this now because if anybody, so first, because the left, I know how Twitter works, they're going to start sharing this tweet among all their people.
Yeah, you already got a threat level.
Right. Yeah. And they're going to be like, oh, Tim Pool's going to be here. Watch out for him. And they're going to go nuts. And it's a waste of their time. However, in the event any one of them is actually watching the show, and then in Portland, they're like, no, Tim Pool said in his show he's not coming, they're going to out themselves as watching Timcast IRL. No, I just watch it to know what they're thinking. So I thought it was funny to tweet. And there are people that are like, I feel bad because there are people being like, yeah, let's go, Tim, you can do it. And I was like, no, I'm not going there. Are you nuts?
Baiting people with the Portland bait, baiting people with Nick Fuentes. We're going to have a lot of extra viewers tonight.
Yeah, it's funny how like the Fuentes thing is so triggering to so many people on the right.
Well, I think it confirms a lot of people's preconceived notions about getting the phone call and, gatekeeping this show.
No. People on the right are attacking me for booking Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
Platforming, so-called.
Yes.
What do you think of that attack?
You've always had controversial people on. It's not new. Like I don't know why people are upset.
Well, I don't think
we've had leftists who have advocated child sex changes on the show.
I don't think Tim's introducing the idea of Nick to people. Nick is already like mainstream as far as I'm concerned. Right. People are very well aware of who he is, and I don't think Tim would be adding much to that by having him on, if anything.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, back in the day, we had been talking with when Cassandra was doing booking about having Nick on, and I was just like, they'll ban the show in 2 seconds, so we need to find, like, it's got to be something particularly news relevant we can have him on for that makes it harder for them to remove. And so that was kind of the idea. And then I guess he got offended by the idea or whatever, because it's like the stupidest thing in the world where it's like, Tim, why don't you burn your show down? Why don't you, like, hey, you should have on someone that YouTube is going to ban your show for. It's like, why? We're trying to have the conversation with Nick, and we're trying to navigate censorship. He, too, is trying to navigate, and we're trying to figure out how to do it. So now YouTube's basically lifted all these restrictions, and now there's nothing to worry about at all. So we were like, yeah, Nick, come on the show whenever you want. We consistently invite crackpot psychopath leftists all the time. Nick is the least of, like, I would actually argue, in terms of opinion, Nick is substantially less controversial than any one of these leftists that's arguing children should have sex changes. Yeah. And we've had like 4 or 5 of these leftists on who are like, abortion till 9 months. Like Matt Bender's a good example. He wants abortion till 9 months. And I'm like, has Nick said anything anywhere near extreme as that? He's got bad opinions about, I guess, the Jews. Is that how you feel, Elaad?
Some bad opinions about the Jews, some racist opinions about the blacks, but I don't think it's extremely like out of the ordinary, especially like in this day and age.
But this is what's crazy to me, and this is an interesting conversation, by the way, that the corporate press for years under the Democrats said it's okay to advocate for abortion up to 9 months and child sex changes, but being racist is far too extreme. And my attitude was kind of like, well, being racist, I think is bad. But if someone sits down and says that they don't want to be around other people because of the color of their skin, I say, well, I think it's ignorant, but there's nothing threatening about that. And then if you get someone on the left saying they want to advocate for a policy where they kidnap children from their homes, bring them to the Pacific Northwest and give them sex changes, I'm like, you are aggressing upon children. Like, one is substantially more extreme than the other.
I will say this, though. I don't even really know what Nick actually believes, because I feel like every time he says something, it's layered underneath so much irony that, like, there's no actual real belief or pitch or idea that
changes. It changes every month.
And then there's like the way he defends what he says.
I think they pull clips out of context from his show, and his show is watched by he's got a core audience that is not massively mainstream. He's getting a lot more attention as of recent. And because of this, it makes him an easy target for taking clips of him out of context and then installing views for him, which makes it really hard for people to actually know what he thinks. So the presumptions are that he said things that are very offensive. There's a viral video on Instagram where he talks about how nobody wants to live near black people and everyone's afraid to say it. And the funny thing is, he's actually correct. I've made this point on this show. I think the issue is he says it a little crudely. What I've said on this show is when I worked at Fusion, I knew this lefty. She was a Latina. And I was talking to her about, we were working on the Ferguson documentary where he talked about property values, how black people, they get arrested, they go on tour, it's called. And she said, I knew that she had investment property in New York. And so she was talking about racism, redlining, blockbusting. And, she was saying her typical woke stuff. And I knew she was full of it. So I said, what would you do if a black family moved next to your investment property? She's like, I'd sell it. And she was a Latina, woke, liberal, working at Fusion. And I laughed and I was like, what? I was like, this is the test. What do you mean you'd sell it? And she goes, the property value will go down. And I'm like, exactly. Nick Fuentes says that kind of stuff, and he says it in a way they say it's offensive and racist or whatever. But there are a lot of people that have historically and traditionally known this, whether it's because they hate black people or not, property values go down.
Dude,
I've talked about it all the time on this show.
In 2001, Dr. Dre released a song called Still DRE, and there's a line in it that says, spend time out the hood, take they moms out the hood. Even Dr. Dre knew getting out of the hood was a good thing.
Well, I think the issue is that the issue I take with Nick is when he says nobody wants to live near black people. I do believe there are a lot of people of all racial backgrounds, including there are black people who feel this way, like you mentioned with Dr. Dre. But I feel the issue is the problem with it is that maybe there's some profiling you can do over race, but you go to Hyde Park in Chicago, which is a black neighborhood, and they're all wealthy and rich, and it's very safe. So the issue isn't inherent to being black. There's a cultural issue, a poverty issue, gang issue. You figure out where it stems from. There are wealthier black neighborhoods. But here's the issue. Is like, I understand Nick's point. If you could go to the average person and read their mind and ask them about what he said, they would agree with what Nick said. And I'm going to stress this again. People can pretend not to be racist all they want, but the housing market has shown this historically. And even woke libs agree that there is a fear that when black people move into a neighborhood, property values go down. This is what's called blockbusting. So y'all figure it out. But he makes that point. It goes viral on Instagram. He's getting a lot more attention for saying stuff like that. My point is ultimately this. I don't care if liberals take that out of context. There is this very strange phenomenon where what Nick said is bannable, persona non grata, shut him down for having said it. And then a leftist can go on TLC and talk about waking up their son in the middle of night saying, stick the dilator inside, I'll put the lubricator, do it, or I'll wring your neck. And that was Jazz Jennings. And I'm like, Nick Fuentes having naughty opinions doesn't bother anybody. It might make you go, ooh, I don't like that guy. Sure, but you're fine in your house ordering your Papa John's and watching football. What the left is doing, they pass laws where they say if you take a child who's not yours and bring them to California, they won't return the child to their proper family and they will give the child a sex change and sterilize them. One is infinitely more dangerous, extreme than the other. That's the weird imbalance in this country. Maybe it's changing now. I'll be honest, I'd prefer neither the racism nor the child sex changes, but again, one is infinitely more extreme than the other.
I think it is changing, didn't like a recent poll show that like the whole trans thing is dying out?
Yes.
Kids are like
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
that's definitely true. But it's also worth noting in the United States and in the West more broadly, but specifically in the United States, we're one of the least racist societies in human history.
Yeah.
Right? Like really, really not racist. So even though contextually, compared to what we were like 20 years ago when race relations were at their essentially the peak and they were at their best, even now where there are people that'll make racial jokes, we're still far less racist than everywhere else in the world. And so people freak out about things that Nick Fuentes says. But that's only because of the context, only because they're here in the U.S. If you look at the way that the rest of the world behaves, things that Nick Fuentes says are not in any way shocking. It's not a surprise. Now, whether or not he's actually correct, I'm not actually. I mean, there's some things he's right about, some things that he's wrong about. But to discuss race in the way that Nick does, in the context globally, it's not in any way outside of the norm.
When I see these leftists constantly complain that America's like really racist and we've got like a racial problem, it just tells me that they don't travel internationally.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
It's a very clear sign they don't travel internationally. You go to any country, almost any country outside the U.S., and it's incredibly racist. I mean,
Korea's great.
Japan's the same way. They have restaurants where they literally won't let you in if you're a non-Japanese. They just won't serve you.
Yeah.
Were they racist against
they're
you
allowed
on
to.
your
And
visit?
I don't want. Listen, I've been to
Why not?
Because of Asian.
I've been to Japan
So
like
you admit it? Okay.
I've been to Japan like 8 or 9 times. I don't want Japan to change. Like I love going to Japan. It's awesome. I don't want to see them change anything for me or anyone else. Like,
No, they should have more McDonald's and Starbucks and Gucci stores.
I totally disagree. Japan is awesome the way it is, and if there are places in Japan that want to say, Phil, you can't come in because you're a white guy, cool. Because there are other places in Japan
Bro.
that will let me in.
Phil.
I don't care.
I'm going to tell you, in 20 years, your kid's going to be like, I really want to go to Japan. And they're going to go to Japan. And you know what they're going to hear when they go to the convenience store?
Hopefully not the call to prayer.
They're not. I was going to make a different joke. They're not going to hear konnichiwa or konbanwa. They're going to hear thank you for coming to the store
They're already seeing that.
If their new
because
new
they're
prime
not,
minister has anything to do
they're not having kids.
Right.
That's
Well,
true.
no, I think, please fact check me, but I think that they've turned that around. I think Japan is the leading Asian country that is now seeing a spike in birth. I could be wrong, but I think that they have turned that around.
You know what they need to make?
More Japanese people?
They need to make a show called Dragon Ball Babies. And it's Goku. And he just has an epiphany where he's like, I need to have more kids.
Well, they kind of put out anime that's like more family focused. I think like Spy Family was one of them that's like supposed to inspire people to have kids.
2024 was a 5.7% decline from 23.
Okay, so
The total fertility rate dropped to 1.15 in 24. In the first half of 25, the number of births dropped 3.1 from the same period in 24.
just doing worse.
Deaths in Japan exceeded births by a large margin. Population decline continues. They don't have babies.
I don't know what kind of propaganda they were telling you in Japan, Tony, but their numbers.
Well, I'm here to
are
shill
down.
Japanese.
They started bringing in African and Indian migrants into Japan.
Well, that might change to his point. Like they just got their first female prime minister, and she's actually super, super right wing.
Yeah, and she also likes metal. She was just on Baby Metal's podcast.
And she drove a Supra, I think, an old
Yeah.
80s Supra that she restored on her own. She's
Let's start with this story. Let's roll with this. We got Asian News Network. Japan, India aim for more than 500,000 people-to-people exchanges over the next 5 years. Tokyo aims to increase exchanges in government, industry, academia, and other sectors, harnessing India's dynamism to fuel Japan's economic growth. So we've started seeing terrifying stories of women being assaulted in Japan. And the response is, why did Japan do this? Why did they decide to start bringing in low-skilled people from India and Africa? What's happening?
They wanted more people in their country to celebrate Diwali.
Well, here's a question. If you had
sure.
to choose, you bring in either the Mexicans or the Indians, which do you choose? You have to bring
Oh,
in
Mexicans, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
Well,
come on.
here-
You've had, like, carne asada. Bro.
the food.
Wait, don't we have enough
it pollo
Mexicans?
con-
Maybe we could afford a few
con arroz?
Indians.
Y queso? Bro,
Maybe we could
Mexican
afford a
food.
few Indians. On Diwali, we're really trashing
First
the
of all-
Indians like
first-
this.
first of all-
we have so many Mexicans in our country. Tony's here. When's the last time we had an Indian?
No,
on
hold
the
on,
show?
hold on. I want to say
Good
this.
point, Tim.
Chicken tikka masala is not Indian food. It's Scottish. It's from Scotland. Okay, so when I look at Mexican food, it is like the best food ever.
It's just tacos, man. Everything's a taco. It's
Well-
just a fried taco or a slightly larger taco. A burrito is just a slightly larger taco.
Burrito is not
It's
Mexican
wrapped up.
food.
Well,
That's
flautas
Tex-Mex. See?
are
That's Tex-Mex.
See, I don't even speak Spanish.
No, I'm talking about when you get like mole sauce. You know, chicken with mole. Bro, come on.
I mean, look, the Mexicans are, mostly of Spanish descent, so they're essentially European descent. So
Yeah, I would pick the Mexicans too over the Indians.
Look, if we got to pick which subsect of Indians we get, I'm probably going with the Indians because they have their caste system. If we get all the Brahmins here, we could get the best of the best in India.
I have no idea.
That's literally what the U.S. has been trying to do.
I feel like all
But
the
in
Indians
all
here are
seriousness,
Brahmins.
let's talk about Japan because Japan's birth rate is basically gone. You guys said they just brought in some like far right heavy metal prime minister.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is she doing and what's going on?
Well, I think just today.
Literally
she
today.
was-
Yeah. This morning.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we'll see.
It's pretty wild. Where in Japan did you go?
I went to Tokyo. Just Tokyo.
Or like what areas?
Shinjuku, Shibuya,
Of course.
Asakusa,
Yeah.
Akihabara.
Did you go to that 5-story sex store that's everyone always talking about?
No, where's that?
I think it's in Shinjuku.
It's got to be. It would be in
Right?
Shinjuku. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's like 5 stories tall. Did you see like how they have? I forgot what area. It's probably Shinjuku. I'm not sure, but they have like gigantic Gokus and like Lupin the Third.
I saw some of that. Yeah.
It's
they have
wild
those
because
pop-up stores.
people don't understand the way we have celebrities. They have anime characters.
Right. It's very normal out there.
So
like KFC has like anime.
Right. You'll see like you'll see a commercial with Brad Pitt or like Kevin Bacon. I watched a Kevin Bacon commercial earlier. I can't remember what he was selling, but I just saw that it was Kevin Bacon. And they'll have Goku.
Yeah.
And like for those that don't know Goku, he's Dragon Ball from the 80s. He's been like a main character in Japan for decades. They need him to be like, I've decided to have babies, and just start knocking up Chi-Chi and cranking them out. Chi-Chi's his wife.
Well, he had 3 kids,
married.
right? Goku
Yeah.
had 3. Gohan,
Gohan.
Goten.
No, he had 2.
No, 2 kids.
Gohan and Goten.
Gohan, Goten. Did you go to any of the
And then Gohan had Pan.
Gohan? That's what it was. Did you go to any of the shrines of the war criminals?
No.
It's too bad. I heard there are many.
Did you go up to Fukushima?
No.
Fukushima. Did you get to visit? Did you have you ever have those? They have those rice buns for breakfast.
You're talking about like onigiri?
No.
Rice buns for breakfast.
Yeah, it looked like a normal breakfast bun, like you'd eat here, where you cut it up and put butter on it.
Okay.
But then when you open it, it's like gooey, like. It's
I had fugu.
What's
like
that?
blowfish.
Oh wow!
I had it twice.
What were you doing in Japan?
Visiting family and friends.
So you
Yeah.
are Japanese.
Well, my wife is Japanese.
Oh, okay.
So I have in-laws there.
So he's a weeaboo.
In-laws.
Yeah, I guess I'm a weeaboo. I mean,
Is that what that
they don't-
means? Japanese lover?
weeaboo
What's
is
that
no.
shirt?
That's like I think a guy who likes like Japanese or Asian women is like a yellow fever type thing, right? But like a weeaboo is like
weeb is like an
anybody-
anime fan.
the anime person. Yeah.
Weeaboo.
Yeah.
So here's an interesting phenomenon we're seeing in the United States that I wonder if you probably see this in Japan. People point out how come there's no McDonald's play places anymore. Jack Posobiec talks about the death of the family Pizza Hut, how Pizza Hut is just a strip mall storefront now. No kids. Really that obvious. Pizza Hut made a lot of money when they had a space for families. People stopped having kids. I doubt there was ever a point where someone at these businesses said, people aren't having kids anymore, so let's turn our business into a strip mall storefront. What probably happened was they said, hey, most people are doing delivery now. They're not coming in. Shift our business model. The reason people weren't coming in is they don't have kids. They're hanging out at home. They order pizza. Same thing with McDonald's Play Place. People who are coming in slowly stopped using the Play Place. And so they were like, we don't even need them anymore. Nobody wants them. They didn't consciously say, hey, nobody has kids. So I'm curious about Japan because their aging population, it's rapid. And even if they import Indians, what happens next? They're going to have 20 million Indian children and no Japanese children, or almost no Japanese children. It is pretty crazy that women aren't having babies anymore.
Tony, what's the attitude towards immigration among Japanese people that you're familiar with, if that's something that you
The
know
ones
about
I'm
them?
familiar with are not They're anti-immigration.
Immigration.
Yeah.
Despite the low birth rates that
Yeah. I
they're
mean,
suffering from.
because even as somebody who goes there, it's I have no claim to Japan, but like the immigrants that are there definitely do ruin, like I guess the culture for sure. The tourists themselves are destroying it, but like it doesn't. There's parts of Japan that don't feel like Japanese because there's so many immigrants there, and yeah, they don't like it. I mean, you see it with the change in just the atmosphere, the way they dress, the talking, the crime rate goes up, right? Like they definitely do bring their problems to Japan. Japan is so unique. I mean, one of my favorite things out there is just everybody's just so quiet. Like you go into a subway or a train and it'll be back to back covered with people, and like you can hear a pin drop in there. Right. Whereas like you go in America and you go and there's 5 people on the train and 4 of them are doing crack and there's a Puerto Rican in the corner playing Bluetooth music. Like you just can't escape it. And out there it's just very peaceful.
I've never been to Japan, but I feel like Americans fetishize the F out of Japan. Like we really put on rose tinted glasses. I don't know.
That's true because there is a lot of horrible parts about Japan.
We mocked them in World War II and felt bad about it ever since.
Yeah. But most people don't think twice about Japan and don't know anything about it.
No, I think Americans like...
No.
Well, like the work culture is obviously really horrible, and that's something my wife talks a lot about because I've joked about wanting to move there because she still has her citizenship there, and she's like, yeah, absolutely not, because the work culture is so freaking bad.
You mean like people work too much?
They work way too much, and in Japan they value time, not effort and quality. Like if you can have Elaad who will work 4 hours a day, but he produces insane content that just gets the most views, and you'll have somebody else who works 12 hours and they will prefer the 12-hour guy, even if he does worse quality work versus the guy that puts in.
That's why they don't have kids.
It's about showing face, right?
Yeah, showing
it's
face.
a culture
right?
of
Like
showing
you're supposed
face.
to show up early and leave.
I got an idea. We should take all of these like neat incel weebs, ship them off to Japan, and then they'll be happy. And then in 100 years, Japan will be colonized by a bunch of...
Appas?
No, I was going to say obese neckbeards with fedoras on swinging katanas.
They're very obvious in Japan because because in Japan, everybody's really thin. And then like you see the tourists and they're very obvious because they wear shorts. In Japan, like people don't wear shorts. It's actually very weird. Like you can spot a tourist immediately because they're wearing shorts. They have a reusable water bottle with them and they're wearing like an anime shirt. Like it's very, but the shorts is our dead giveaway.
I love this. There's a meme where a fat Japanese guy comes to America and he's wearing like Mickey Mouse ears and a Simpsons t-shirt and like Sonic the Hedgehog pants. And he's like running around all excited about American cartoons. And people are just like, this guy's weird. And that's what it's like when these weird anime people go to Japan. But to be fair, I don't think people realize how popular anime is in Japan. It is their principal medium. Like for us, it's movies. We have movie stars. They have anime characters.
Yeah, you'll walk into a Wendy's and they'll have like anime all over the place.
Yeah.
And then for I think a normal person or an American, they're just like, this is weird. But for a Japanese,
It would be like imagine if instead of Brad Pitt everywhere, it was Homer Simpson doing commercials.
Right.
So it's like it's an adult thing as well. It's not just
Very much so.
a child
like,
thing. Like
adults
most of it is
watch
here.
anime. Like I'll meet like 30, 40-year-olds that are like, yeah, this is my favorite anime. It's
Oh yeah,
very normal.
they've started doing live action stuff more now.
Yeah.
But their principal TV shows, comedies, and everything are cartoons. Japanimation.
Fascinating.
Japanimation.
And the weird thing too is it usually starts as like a manga.
Right.
So somebody will write a comic, then it'll get picked up by one of the principal magazines, then it'll get optioned for a TV show. And it's just like, it's kind of weird because of like the anime that I used to watch, eventually I'm just like, okay, I'll just read the manga because the manga's done and the anime isn't. So you just don't even watch the show anymore.
This culture that's developing in Japan sounds very soft and effeminate. I think Japan needs to reinvigorate their old samurai culture, and we really need them to stand up strong against the communist Chinese when they decide to invade Taiwan. So we can't have them over there. I don't know, getting too excited over animes,
The Chinese
or
in Japan
playing with
are
their
real rough,
plushies
too.
or whatever they're doing over there.
Chinese in Japan are real rough dealing with them. The Chinese tourists in Japan.
Oh, bro, the Chinese
Horrible.
tourists everywhere. Have you seen the videos?
Horrible. Yeah, but they're very prevalent in Japan. Like you just have to deal. They do this thing. So like in Japan, they're really big on like queuing lines. They're very proper about lines. The Chinese, like you'll be in line to get inside an elevator. The Chinese person or the tourist will immediately cut everybody and just go in. Even before the people have exited the elevator, they will butt themselves in. They're horrible.
I think it's a communist thing. I was when I was flying to Ukraine for Vice, we flew from the UK to Moscow to Kiev because that was the only flight we could get. And when I was doing the transferring from Moscow to the flight to Kiev, in the UK, they're like, now calling group 1. And then group 1 gets up. Now calling group 2. Group 2 gets up. In Moscow, they were like, whatever, Russian, blah, blah, blah. And everyone rushed full speed shoving each other out of the way, trying to get in. And then I was like, what the? So I was like, all right, shoved everyone out of the way, scanned my ticket and got on the plane. And I was like, this is crazy.
You're seeing that now in American planes, though. I don't know how often you guys fly, but
No, I've not.
I've seen flights, and it's usually Indians. Sorry, I know it's Diwali, but they'll
trashing 'em.
we land, and the Indians immediately give up, and they just bum rush the front. Whereas normally, like, you get off a plane, and everybody gets off in order. The Indians will just bum rush the front of the plane. It's kind of
When I've been, I used to fly a lot more than I do now, but flying even recently, the lines are still relatively orderly.
no.
Getting on a plane, you can't get out. They'll kick you out. I've seen people walk up and they go, no, and they tell them to go back.
I don't know. They have this
You,
scam.
you,
like
you have to scan your ticket, and the flight attendant has to let you on the plane. You can't just walk in.
well, they have this scam now, like Southwest. And I think
Southwest is different. Southwest says sit wherever you can.
yeah, but like you can claim that you're like you can claim that you're handicapped. You don't have to prove anything.
Anyone can do that.
But yes, right. But you're having people do that now, and they let them on first.
Always.
So like I flew Southwest here, and almost half the plane was these people in these like little shopping cart things, like boarding first. It was miserable.
But anyway, the point is, when you say like the Chinese tourists, I think it's born of the communism in the country, because my theory is that throughout the past 70 or whatever years of these communist nations, if you were passive, you died. They were starving to death. So the people who were willing to rip the food out of your hand and eat it to live ended up surviving. And the culture they build is, out of my way, I'm taking what I have to take. So Japan, it's a very honorific society. They say stand in line, and the communist Chinese are like, out of my way, I'm taking what I have to take.
I've been to Russia a couple times to play shows, and I noticed the same kind of phenomenon. The Russian people kind of behave the same way in the airport. Like, everyone just crams in. There's not really a lot of lines.
Because all of the people who were honorable and passive and said, I'll protect my neighbor, died and starved to death because of the Soviets.
Wow, I hadn't thought about it like that. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
How was TSA on the way here, given the government shutdown? I don't know, were things relatively...
Fine. I mean, I have pre-check, so I just rushed right through.
Well, what about returning from Japan?
You mean from Japan return? Oh, it was easy. I have global entry, so
Oh, wow.
do a scan. You scan your face, and just I was
You're a global citizen.
I travel a lot. I love traveling.
Well, I'm really trying to wonder about the impact of this government shutdown. We haven't mentioned it.
I
know how much
I
it
can't tell.
practically affects people.
Yeah.
We're heading into almost the longest shutdown that we've ever had. I thought it was going to go for over a month, given the incentives. But if you know, people even like you who are at airports aren't seeing it. I think the major consequence right now is just that a lot of the military isn't getting paid, or DHS. I think agents aren't getting paid, and a lot of people in our government. But
Yeah, average
Beyond
person
that,
doesn't feel it. At least not right now.
the average
Maybe if
American certainly, I don't believe even knows that the government is shut down.
No, most people don't.
No, they don't.
No.
Absolutely not.
Because for most people, that doesn't mean anything.
I
don't know about most people.
I learned that the government was shut down because I was filing an FTC complaint against Liquid Death, and came across that the government is shut down, so it's not currently operating. But the website at least. So, but it's okay because we're talking to just something that's happening.
Liquid Death. That's such a dumb name. Oh, so edgy. Liquid Death.
what's
but it's
funny
really
is,
water.
Well, that's what they market off, being edgy. Wasn't it like originally? This is how I remembered it.
Water is the gift of life.
You gave up your soul if you drank it, or you.
That was one of the
entered
campaigns they did.
Yeah,
this is the funny thing because the Brian Krasenstein posted a photo of himself drinking Liquid Death, which, like, I think any reasonable person can conclude he's doing it because I was
Yeah.
beefing with the CEO,
True.
which has just turned the beef into a partisan tribal issue,
Yeah.
which is generally just bad for any brand unless you're a media brand in one particular space. And so it's like the crazy thing about this, I have seen so many messages from conservatives who want to see Liquid Death fail because they hex their water with a witch doctor, and they had some witch curse or something they did.
Isn't it just tap water? So like hexing tap water.
Well, the water is like Virginia spring water or something.
Oh,
And then the water they use for most of their soft drinks, which is the majority of the drinks they make, is the CEO said it was reverse osmosis municipal tap water from Los Angeles.
so they're hexing tap water from LA.
But here's the thing: you're seeing all these posts now because of this controversy, where conservatives are like, guys, this is a satanic brand promoting witches, witch doctors, demons, and selling your soul. Don't buy from them. And my attitude was like, I don't care about any of that. My concern is that it's a fake environmental claim, and the dude's a liar. And more so, he just won't stop doubling down on it. But it's turning into a culture war issue because Christian conservatives are like, wait a minute, what do you mean they are satanic and have witches curse their water? And I'm just like, that has nothing to do with me. That was never my complaint or argument. But you're seeing a bunch of Christian conservatives now be like, we're going to cancel this woke company. And Brian Krasenstein was like, let's make sure we give him a reason. Of
course.
Posting a picture. Like, why would you do that? It's just
Why would you want like
ridiculous.
4'10" Brian Krasenstein like promoting your brand? Like, what a
Bro,
disaster.
if I was at a beverage company and the Krasenstein started drinking, I'd be like, oh crap. Because all that's guaranteed to happen is conservatives started attacking the Krasensteins and in turn attacking Liquid Death as being woke, as bad, as left. There you go. I mean, if you want to make your brand political and burn it down like this, but the funny thing is the CEO won't stop tweeting at me because he's got like no media experience and he keeps incriminating himself to the point now where this morning I get a notification that he's tweeting at someone accusing, there's like a person with like 15,000 followers was like, oh, wow, you're committing fraud, basically. So now because the CEO just won't shut up about it, he's being accused of committing fraud on his donations and has like a legal response being like, no, we've done all the right thing or whatever.
Marketing department disaster. Your CEO is just a total idiot.
Yeah, but I'm curious in this regard because so I mean, full disclosure, we are filing an FTC complaint. We already have the draft complaint done. And we're going after them for misleading claims and a variety of factors. And this is a government regulatory body, which means we don't have any costs. I submit the complaint, and if the FTC agrees, then they file, and then Liquid Death has to go to a legal battle with the U.S. government. However, what's happened now is there are a bunch of conservatives that are trying to make this into a woke Bud Light scenario because Liquid Death is like satanic. And the attitude from a lot of people is don't buy their drinks. They have witches curse their beverage. You got to push out any cultural references that promote Satanism, even as a joke.
It's just kind of a pain in the ass to buy canned water. Like that's the thing to me. It's just a pain in the ass.
Personally, I like seltzer, so
You know
you
what?
can't like here. I can drink this water. I can seal it back up. I can but with a can, like you have to commit to the whole can.
Here's some more data for you guys. Did you know that all canned beverages have plastic inside them?
yeah.
And that plastic liners and cans are more susceptible to heat damage, delamination, which can result in the plastics going into your food more than a plastic water bottle.
This is why we have microplastics in our.
I have so much
Balls.
plastics in my balls that I don't even give a shit anymore.
I follow
They're all
Brian.
plastic.
I follow Brian Johnson.
They're
the
pure
Don't
plastic.
Die
Which
guy.
one? The Liver King guy or the Don't Die guy?
No, not the fraud guy.
They're both
the alien guy.
They're kind
The
of
alien guy.
Not the liver, not the steroid guy, the alien guy.
Yeah, not the steroid guy. The
Was he was on steroids, right?
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
No,
That
I
dude was
actually like
geared
Brian
up.
Johnson only because he
Which
publishes
Brian
all his, the alien guy, the guy that doesn't
but
want to die.
When we're joking about both of them, you're like, I actually like Brian Johnson. I'm like,
I
we're
like
saying
Don't
liver-
Die Brian Johnson,
Yeah.
Alien Brian Johnson. He has a documentary on Netflix, but he publishes all his data, and he was talking specifically about the microplastics in his testicles, and he's said that he's effectively found a way to reduce them, and it's by using the sauna every day. He uses the sauna.
Oh, so it circulates.
like it
so
actually
flushes
does
it out.
like flush out the system.
I feel like
so-
that kills your sperm count too, though.
Well, yes, you're correct, and he's talked about this.
like
He ices
putting
his
your-
balls
no-
when he's in the sauna. He's got an ice pack on his balls. He also published his data on how long his morning woods are and stuff. The guy's phenomenal.
This guy.
I want to know.
I'm
What age
I'm
he
actually.
still gets that?
I want to say this.
His age.
Yes.
Isn't he like 50, 60?
Yeah, but he has high T. That's a sign of a healthy man is you still get morning woods.
Yeah. Wow.
I just want to say I actually am somewhat of a fan of the guy.
Yeah, he's great.
But he is a weirdo.
Well, yeah, but he's great weirdo.
Yeah.
He reminds me of Ian. I feel like Ian would ice his balls in the sauna.
Ian likes to talk about how his biological age is lower than his actual age.
He does look very young for
Yeah, it's because he locks him. He's in his. So there's two things that benefit Ian's age: no sunlight and caloric deprivation. That's not a joke.
He doesn't eat, huh?
He look at him. He's a twig.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Ian is
How old is he? About
he, 50?
45.
He's 45.
I thought he was in his 30s when I first met him. He still, I think, looks
I
like
wear one of those
30s.
Aura rings, and it tells me I'm younger than my biological age is younger. It says 6 years younger than
that's
me.
What's your biological age?
It says I'm 33, 34.
No, you're
I'm
almost
actually
40.
almost 40, yeah.
I hear Mexicans have a hard wall that once they get past it, they turn into.
I think that's the women.
Just the women.
They become tortas. I think
Tortas.
is the term. The tortas.
Is that a slur?
Well, I'm brown, so I can say this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
I give you the pass. You can say torta. Yeah.
Well, he could pass for Mexican if he wanted to.
Do you think so?
Yeah. We were worried about you a lot.
Do you think so as a Mexican?
I wouldn't. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Adios mio.
You were talking Spanish to me in the thing over there, telling me to plug in stuff into the wall, like I was.
We got really worried that Elaad was going to self-harm when we heard Bolton got indicted.
Yeah.
So we were trying to do
I thought about you.
I was afraid that you're.
Dude, I did get pissed off. Seamus sent me a text.
Jump off.
I was like, this fucking guy's being so fucking coy with me. He's like, hey, how you standing up right now? Heard the John Bolton news? It's like, fucking Seamus. Any laws that John Bolton broke, he should be held to the highest standard of the law and be prosecuted to the highest level of the law for anything for any laws that he did break.
Elaad's working on a prison break already.
But I'd suspect that this will eventually be tossed. That this case will be tossed. Yeah, we'll see.
No
though
way.
It's actually very reminiscent.
Have you
of
seen the case?
classified documents case?
No, it's way worse. He apparently
he was like sharing it with his family members
to make money.
Wasn't he like teasing it too? He's like, "Oh, I've got more coming," or something to that effect.
Yeah, and it was having third parties leak it or whatever. I don't think accusations were something like
He's
that.
cooked. Your boy's cooked.
Look, if
Elaad. Wait. No. You should be happy about this because that means there's room for a new Bolton.
It could be you.
It could be you. You know what I mean? Like you're in the White House, and you know you're the press, and you see Trump, and you say, Mr. President, with John Bolton being indicted, there's now an opening for someone like Bolton. You know.
It's like, what would John Bolton say in the Oval? Like, why don't you bomb Venezuela? Maybe I'll just start telling, like, just try to sound like
You need to ask him, Mr. President, now that Bolton's gone, do you need someone to take the fall for being a warmonger? Because I'm right here, bro.
Do you need a war hawk in the
You know how like you were
move over
talking
the
about
Overton window?
You were talking about how like ICE agents are taking tips from like right-wing journalists. You can be like that, but for like war. You can give tips.
I think there is something to be said, though, about former administration officials being indicted in the new form of the administration. I also do wonder if the people in the current administration do wonder about their prospects for criminal prosecution in the future once they leave office. Tom Homan's wrapped up in this $50K scandal. You know, they're calling Stephen Miller a fascist and saying that whatever he's directing at to happen with ICE and DHS is criminal. Same with Kristi Noem. So I do think it's fascinating. I do wonder if any of his cabinet thinks like, maybe I could be thrown under the bus down the line.
This is your pitch, bro. You need to pitch to Trump that you can be the Bolton heel of the administration. So when Trump is like, we got to bomb Venezuela, you say, I got this, Mr. President. You go on TV and say, I'm bombing Venezuela. And Trump can go, oh, no, wait, don't do it.
If he needs somebody to like be able to say like, oh, this madman's whispering in my ear, telling me to bomb you guys. Like, I don't want to give him what he wants. Like, I hope you guys can talk me out of it.
You could be that madman.
Like, hey, he's saying send tomahawks, Putin. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I should take his advice. Maybe I should send some tomahawks.
Here's the question, though. Do you think the corporate press is still pro-Israel, or are they anti-Israel?
I don't think there is a monolith when it comes to the so-called corporate press.
It used to be all pro-Israel.
Is Al Jazeera corporate media?
We didn't. I'm saying back in the day when you had these principal news brands, NBC, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, the one thing that all agree on was support for Israel. Al Jazeera, of course, is rising up relatively. It's relatively new. I don't think we have Al Jazeera America. They went out of business. So people in the U.S. get access to Al Jazeera English, which I think is like in the U.K. or something. But now I'm wondering with the current trends among the left, Fox News, of course, is still pro-Israel. They got Mark Levin? Mark Levin. Mm-hmm. But I'd have to imagine MSNBC has to be anti-Israel.
There definitely isn't the consensus there that there used to be. Same with CNN. Definitely with their new Muslim hosts. Over at MSNBC, I believe they had Mehdi Hassan for a little bit. And then they also had, like, I don't know, his little brother or cousin
If you listen to, like, Morning Joe, which still styles itself as kind of the inside Washington morning show to watch, generally that's pro-Israel, even though they do have a lot of people that are considerably further left than you would likely hear on Fox News. But when it comes to like the actual daytime stuff, I think it's probably pretty consistently anti-Israel on MSNBC. and I imagine that's a similar phenomenon with CNN.
We're going to go to your super chats and Rumble rants. So smash the like button, share the show with literally everyone you know. You can follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Of course, the Rumble-only uncensored portion of the show will be coming up at 10 p.m. at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. Make sure to check that out. Don't miss it. And you got to join our Discord server at timcast.com. Community is our strength. Unity is our strength. And they say diversity is our strength. They mean their strength. They mean fracturing, dividing, and conquering. Join the Timcast Discord server because we are working on some pretty big announcements. We're going to be we're experimenting this Friday with Timcast IRL. The plan is to pre-record a little bit earlier in the day, because usually the Friday night shows, there's not a whole lot of news as it is, and we generally go conversational. So we're like, let's do a little bit earlier and bring in the Discord members in the last half an hour of the show instead of the Super Chats, and have them be more involved with the main show that will then premiere at the same time. We're trying to find ways to keep people more involved and do more community work with the Discord. So check that out. We also have a big event coming up at the DC Comedy Loft, November 8th. Get your tickets now. They are going to disappear fast. Still preferred seating available, but this is modern dating. We've got Emily Saves America, Alex Stein, Myron Gaines, Brian Shapiro, and myself. We've done, this would be, I think, our fourth. This is our fourth one, right? And all of them effectively sold out. So I recommend getting your tickets and showing up. It's hilarious. It's good fun. You, as members of the audience, are invited to join us on the debate stage. The way it works, we do about a half an hour of general conversation. Then we invite people who have submitted their point of view on the subject matter, which in this case is dating in the modern age. You come up, you make your point. You have about a minute at the microphone. And if your point is well received, you are invited to join the debate for the next 5 or so minutes. And if you're really good, you stay up there for longer. So we consider it to be like Jubilee meets Kill Tony. And guys, come. It's a lot of fun. We do have another one coming up the next week after. We had to move it because of the No Kings protest. So check it out. But for now, let's grab your Rumble rants. We got Mason M93 says the Clintons stole everything not nailed down from the White House when her husband left office. Can they literally do nothing but accuse the right of their own crimes?
They stole an estimated $190,000 worth of property from the White House, and then they are, if I understand correctly, they returned or paid for about 80,000 of it. So they still, pardon me?
What did they steal?
Dishes, like everything
Lewinsky's
that wasn't
innocence
nailed down
was taken from her.
Yeah. God
What?
rest her soul.
I said Monica Lewinsky's innocence was taken from her.
Wasn't she an adult?
She was a very young
wasn't
adult.
She was an adult. She was 20
I think
years old.
she was an
She was 20?
intern.
She was an intern. It was a
I don't play
thing
that
for him to do, but
I don't play
she
these
was an
leftist
adult.
games.
And she actually was opportunistically working with the president during a shutdown, actually, a government shutdown where some of the other employees weren't there. So she had the opportunity to move up the ranks. So
She was working with him.
I don't play these like leftist games of like, oh, the man had power and she didn't. It's like, bro, people make choices.
I think there is a little bit of a dynamic
For
when it comes to
minors.
the president and an intern, but
Nope.
not an illegal.
This is leftism stuff, dude, where it's like, I had no choice because my boss told me to do it. What are you talking about? You say, I'm leaving.
I think
and
that
then,
the-
but this is the point. If Bill Clinton grabbed her and threw her down and got on top of her, I'd be like, whoa, man, that's crazy. He was like, you want to hook up? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, what's the problem?
When you're that famous, they
Don't
let
do
you
it. Don't do it at work. That's messed up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The idea that people don't have agency is something that the left loves to use. They love to say that victims are victims because they don't have the ability to stop, or they don't have enough agency to say no for themselves. And that you see it whether it be people that are committing crimes, or you see it on an international level with like the Gaza Israel stuff. Like, well, the people in Gaza, they had to attack Israel. It wasn't, it's not their fault. They were being oppressed and blah blah blah. You see that kind of stuff all the time, and I
don't
it out of hand.
Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky were both adults. They consented and they did it at work. That's the problem.
I agree
They
that
should
it
both
was
get in trouble.
illegal, but it probably wasn't untoward for the president to be
It was very bad.
engaging in that type
He's
of
cheating on his
activity.
wife.
I believe.
I
Was
mean,
it
I
in the
get
Oval
it.
Office?
It's Hillary, you know what I mean?
She used to be attractive when she was
I've been trying to tell
I
them
don't
this,
believe
and
that.
they
No,
don't.
she looks like.
Can we pull up the old
yeah.
photos with the glasses? I swear she looks like one of my ex-girlfriends.
That is, you are wrong.
Wait, are we put? Let's
She's-
Hold
take
on,
a
I
look.
gotta search.
Like a
check.
college.
She looked attractive. She
Yeah.
looked like Sabrina Carpenter a little bit when she was younger.
No,
I'm not
Yeah,
joking.
definitely.
The face.
100%.
I don't know about the body, but
100%
I'm not
with those
joking.
curls.
I will say nowadays Monica Lewinsky looks really good.
Wow.
Yeah, nowadays she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no.
No.
Wow, that's
Elaad,
cute.
you're gonna say
That's
you're gonna
not a
say
great photo. You got
With those cheekbones, those high cheekbones.
that's an older photo. I think
They're all
it's a
older
different.
photos.
Well, it's a
She's
different
like
photo
90.
than the one I saw.
I think I know which
You
photo
know
you're
what I'm
talking
talking
about
about.
as well.
this one.
No, with the
No.
glasses. This is too young.
She's like a high schooler there,
What
college kid, whatever. Like, We need a different photo.
Oh, I know it. Oh, hold on. There's the adult one. You're talking about. Oh, it won't come over. Here we go. You're talking about this one, Elaad?
That's not bad, man. That's not bad.
Sure.
And the turtleneck, is it?
I mean, have you seen the size of an average American woman nowadays?
Oh,
She
okay.
looks good
Elaad's
there.
talking about this one.
That's Hillary Clinton.
That's Florence Pugh.
What?
Who's that? I don't
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. You're saying she was too young in those. Okay, here you go, Elaad.
No, this is when she fell off.
She fell off at like 60.
No, like
All
before
right,
this.
all
when, like,
right. Come on.
falling off.
How many do I
you
got?
go.
Yeah,
That's
young lib,
Is that? Are you kidding?
an innocent young Hillary Clinton. All right,
Enough.
Let's get the
You
next
just-
super
you
chat.
sound
Yeah.
Yeah, can we? Yeah,
Bro,
let's see Hillary.
sound
Elaad,
creepy.
I don't think. I don't think so.
No, there was at least
There
one
was a
photo.
time.
Oh, I know which one. I know which one Elaad's talking about. You guys are talking about this one. All right, I'm done screwing with you guys. I know what photo you're talking about the whole time.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
It's another troll photo, isn't it?
Of course.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't think that there was a
It
time.
looks like a nice American woman.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, like, if you went back in time and you met her?
She looks.
You just.
Oh.
You ever see Shallow Hal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Where Jack Black, he only sees what people are really like.
Mm-hmm.
You would see her, but it would look like this. You'd like everyone would see this, and you would see this. There's nothing you can do about it.
I think she looks like a quintessential American woman in that photo.
She'd be like young. And here's the thing too, like she's not yet become the warmongering desperate that Elaad is so turned on by.
Is that
Yeah, that's really what it is, isn't it? It's her willing. You were like
Attracted to power.
when she was running for president. She was like, I would create a no-fly zone over Syria, thereby making it almost guaranteed that the U.S. would go to war with Russia. You were like,
It was
now we're talking, baby.
No.
That gets me
Bro.
hot.
No. You see, when she says at first, we're going to have a no-fly zone over Syria, Elaad's like, that's what I'm talking about. Then she's told that would mean war with Russia. And she goes, I know. Elaad goes, be still my beating heart.
exactly.
And then when she goes, we came, we saw, he died. Elaad goes, oh!
Yeah.
That was the line. I really want to get the Warhawks going. That's the line.
Jesus.
All right, anyway, let's read more of these chats.
Offensive.
ETRD says, I don't believe they are Antifa, Tim, not all of them. They have stand down orders from the mayor and head of the department. They literally just stood there. They didn't willfully shield them. Bad take. This is what I'm talking about. Back the blue, no matter who. What is this? The conservative back the blue, no matter who. Like literally, you have communist cops being like, "You're free to go, Antifa woman," and they're like, "Nah, but he didn't know." I'm like, "Are you kidding,
That's
bro?"
ridiculous. Totally.
The cop literally says to the DHS guy, "Well, we don't know what she's running from." You didn't see her using daylight flashlights blasting the cops?
Why are you standing there then? If you don't know, if you're not watching what's going on, why are you here?
Yeah, why wouldn't you just be like, I'm not involved, and walk away?
Yeah.
He obstructed DHS from arresting her, and then she ran away. The cops protected her. This is insane that conservatives are like, all cops are always good no matter what. Back the blue no matter who. It's the stupidest thing imaginable. I'm sorry. It's just insane.
It is.
There are going to be Antifa guys who intentionally get jobs as police officers. And I will add this to the argument. You got a good cop. He's been in the force for 10 years, and he's like, I'm going to clean these streets up. Then they go, oh, hey, Officer Smith, I'd like to introduce you to your new boss, Antifa. And the Antifa guy goes, I want you to protect terrorists. And he goes, okay. Am I supposed to be okay with that? It's like, but the Antifa is telling him what to do. I'm like, yeah, so quit. Dude, the good cops have already quit a long time ago. We saw it during COVID.
Yes.
All right. KL Tanker says, last night you talked about the Panera lemonade. It was lemonade, a lemonade dispenser, but it had a giant sign saying charged lemonade with clean caffeine powered by green coffee extract. Agreed. I don't think, what was it like, 200 and something milligrams per cup?
Didn't somebody die from?
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that stuff was.
So a cup of coffee has around 90 milligrams. 400. Come on. Dude, a cup of coffee has around 90. So I track the total caffeine milligrams in all the drinks that I have when I have coffee in the morning. Did you know that cold brew, a cup of cold brew is like 300? Insane. Yeah. So I drink like only half of a cup of cold brew because it's insane. We got these yerba mates and they have 150. I track all that stuff. But if you saw a dispenser that said caffeinated drink and you're thinking it's probably fine. And you don't realize there's 400 milligrams of caffeine in it. That's crazy. But whatever, man. I don't know.
Everything's supersized nowadays.
Well, apparently she kept filling it back up and drinking more. And then she killed herself because she was too much caffeine. Shane H. Wilder says Tom Hardy did do the final voice of Bane. His lines were muffled because of the mask, so he had to go back to do ADR after filming. He based the voice on a Romanian gypsy he knew. It talks like this. Does that give you power over me? That was terrible.
No Romanian gypsies sounded like that.
But you know, here's the problem was that the Joker was too good. It was like the best Joker in any Batman media ever.
Yeah.
The fan theories about Dark Knight Joker, like that he was ex-military, that he was the actual good guy. You guys know that the Joker in Dark Knight was the good guy, right?
No, that's a wild theory.
It's true.
I love crazy theories like that.
It's not crazy. If you actually watch the movie and then watch Dark Knight Rises, you can see everything Joker did. What did he do? He got rid of the mob and he got rid of vigilantism. He got rid of an emotionally overzealous prosecutor. He cleaned up Gotham. Batman flees. Joker succeeds in most of what he tried to do. Batman stops him on his last plot, and then Dark Knight Rises starts. Batman's retired. The mafia is gone. Gotham is clean. Bane then comes back with the League of Shadows, saying like, no, we're not going to let it go, and we're going to blow it up again. And then Batman comes out of retirement to stop Bane. They expect one of us to be in the rubble.
I haven't seen Batman. I'm sorry. I don't.
You haven't seen those movies? They're worth watching.
That's why everyone. That's why no one likes you a lot. Okay, because all men do is talk about Batman all the time, and you don't, and so you're.
This is why you like war.
No, I'm busy talking about War IRL, not this Batman.
War IRL, not Batman IRL.
Well, War IRL is kind of more fascinating.
Batman is the most powerful superhero in all of comic book existence.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Technically, that's not true because there's like Marvel's one above all or whatever. But in terms of individual superheroes on Earth, or actually in almost every circumstance, the general concept of what Batman is that given enough time, he can overcome any.
Prep time thing.
That's the theory. It's like Batman is smart enough to overcome any obstacle with enough preparation. So when they did the Marvel crossover with DC, Batman defeats the Hulk by throwing nerve gas at the Hulk and then striking his solar plexus, forcing Hulk to inhale and then passing out. So Batman, a regular human with technical ability. That's why Batman and Iron Man are like my favorite characters, because they're just people. They're just guys. You know, you got these people like Captain Marvel's the worst, especially in the movie. She's like, I just have power for no reason. And shut up. Batman's a dude who's like, I'm going to train and, fight for justice.
So relatable. You could be Batman if you work hard enough.
Right. That's the general idea. Like anyone can be a superhero like Batman. Iron Man invented stuff, although he's kind of a dick. That was kind of the point of Iron Man, was to create a villain in every way but his deeds. So he's an alcoholic, womanizing, cussing, billionaire, industrialist. You should hate him, but he's the hero. So it was like an interesting dichotomy.
He's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's read some more. All right, let's see. Hitler was a vegetarian. That's interesting. Says, I work in film. Gavin's new tax incentive now requires us to start every meeting with a land... What? With a land acknowledgement. And we are required to attach a land acknowledgement to every call sheet. No way that's true.
That can't be true.
Way.
Someone check that.
You need a Patriot.
Because it's believable, right?
What's the law?
That Native American... in Hollywood, they have to do
land
land
is there a name
acknowledgements.
for it?
Oh.
Land acknowledgement.
Land acknowledgement. All right.
I thought we were done with the land acknowledgement bullshit, frankly. I thought that died along with the
king gave the land back. What are you talking about?
pronouns.
Not in Canada. I'm not your buddy guy, says Civil War. Who am I to speak out? Our government is just giving away land to the natives without consent to the landowners. Kyle says Liquid Death CEO continues to crash out and it's clearly hurting his brand. Can we start a campaign to get Spindrift to switch to glass bottles too? Spindrift is amazing. I love Spindrift. And I believe that the Spindrift, there's some connection there. Like I think maybe that company has an investment in Liquid Death or whatever. But what I will say, what's really funny about the Liquid Death thing is the CEO won't stop tweeting at me. Like it's now days later and I don't even really care. So the gist of what happened is after we did the debate, I said at the end of the show, I was like, listen, if you fix your marketing, that's my principal complaint. I think the drinks are actually great. Low sugar is good. Just fix it. And he said he was gonna. And I said, okay. And then the issue was that people started posting about the bet he had made on stream where he challenged me. He claimed he never said 10% on his company's website. It did. And I said, gentleman's bet. It's 10%. He goes, $1 million. And I was like, are you sure? Here you go. And I pulled it up and it says 10%. It said it for over a year. And there's 3 years of third-party reporting confirming that his company said 10% of profit per can, which means gross profit. That's legal. So he said $1 million. And then people started posting, Tim Pool just won $1 million. There was like a trend on X. And so I tweeted out, give the $1 million to Five Gyres, the company you already work with. I was basically saying, yeah, we're done. It was basically me closing off the Tim Pool won $1 million, and I was basically saying, we're done with this. Go do your thing. I figured saying give $1 million to the nonprofit you already donate to was basically saying do nothing.
Doesn't have to prove it. Just say
yeah, because he could have been like, hey, let's go. Instead, he tweeted at me, how about you issue a public apology to me and my company? You're only doing this because I fired your skateboard friend, and if then after your apology, if the nonprofit agrees to an extended payment plan, we'll consider it or something like that. And then I was just like, holy crap, this dude's nuts. He's like, his ego is bigger than the plastic footprint they produce from their can company. So I said, okay, go F yourself. I'll file the FTC complaint myself. And then what he did was he kept tweeting, increasing the amount of FTC violations that we believe we can present. It's actually quite insane, the amount of things he keeps saying, which are like, dude, you can't say these things. And now there's potential defamation because he like this dude has bro, the CEO of Liquidet's having a mental breakdown over this. It's actually, I'm getting kind of nervous over how messed up he is. At first it was funny that he was crashing out. Now I'm genuinely concerned about his like potential self-harm. He went on ChatGPT and he made a fake graph posted through the corporate brand account where he was like, you Pool Boy's so mad because his views are going down. And then it's just this fake thing that claims from 2012, yes, to 2024, Timcast IRL got 1.1 million views per episode. And that in 2025, we only get 70,000 views per episode. And I'm like, the CEO of a beverage company that brought in $333 million last year went on ChatGPT and made a fake graph to try and get at me because he's having a mental breakdown. And I'm just sitting here being like, listen, bro, I tweeted him. I was like, let me get serious, dude. I'm a troll on X. I say random things. I just posted a video of Ian Crossland spraying water out of his mouth and blowing up a house like a fire hose. I'm goofing off. This is the brand account of a company that has investors like Live Nation, apparently. I think it's like Live Nation's an investor and a bunch of pro skateboarders. And this dude fabricated a graph to defame Timcast IRL, exposing him not just to FTC violations, but now potential private litigation. Why would you do that? It's just, I'm like, bro, I tweeted at him. I was like, you need media training. You're easily baited by troll posts. And this morning, the dude was tweeting at someone accusing him of fraud. I'm like, listen, there are people that are like, Tim, you're giving them publicity. I don't care. I'm goofing off. I posted my opinion on X. I don't care if the company makes or breaks or do whatever. And now, because of his statements, you've got people tweeting at him that he committed fraud with donations, and they're having to respond to these allegations. Bro, you should have just said nothing. It's pretty messed up. And we have 4 or 5 principal claims against him now because he won't shut up. Every time he tweets, there's a potential violation that our lawyer, like we're talking with our lawyers and we're like, yo, look what he's saying. And they're like, wow, he's making the claims like the FTC violations potentially greater. It's pretty clear though. It was funny because I'll just say this. When I mentioned to my lawyer, I was like, we have a draft complaint to the FTC because they say death to plastic, but their cans are plastic. He was like, okay, I'll take a look. The next thing he said was when he saw the photo of the aluminum can with the metal strip from it, he like, holy crap, because people don't know cans are actually plastic bottles. So an aluminum can you're drinking out of, it's actually, when you strip the metal away, it's a plastic bag. You're drinking out of a plastic bag. People don't know that. Anyway.
Death to plastic? This guy sounds like a terrorist. We need to put him on a watch list. I love plastic. I'm part of Big Plastic. I got plastic balls. I love Big Plastic.
You need to go to the sauna.
Thanks for telling me about your balls, Elaad.
Yep.
I will stress this too. Here's the important thing to understand. This is not a private action that's being taken with the FTC. It's like I have no cost on this. I submit it to the FTC, and if the FTC moves forward, it costs me $0. So the only exposure is on their end. There's no reason for this to bring this up. So I have no problem saying all these things because I'm not in a private litigation. There's something called the Green Guides in the FTC that specifically regulates environmental claims. My understanding of it, I could be wrong, but this is my understanding, is that they're trying to prevent people from claiming to be eco-friendly by maligning any other product. The reason is you might get someone who says, don't use brick for your house. Brick is bad for this reason. Use hardy board. And that may not be true. And then you're using false environmental claims to promote your business. It's an FTC violation. The thing about glass bottles is that you can use cork liner and you can make glass bottle products with paper stickers and cork liner that uses 0 plastic. But this dude from Liquid Death keeps making the claim that glass has more plastic, falsely maligning a clean alternative. Why? When I asked him on the show why doesn't he use cork and glass, he said it's too expensive. He's effectively saying we could use plastic-free alternatives, but we lose money. We lose profit. It's an insane thing to say, and the dude keeps digging his grave deeper and deeper. That's why I keep tweeting at him, dude, stop, shut up. But he's like hell-bent on, I guess, sinking the company. I was actually wondering, I wonder if he got bad investors and he's regretting where the company's gone, so he's intentionally trying to nuke it so that the investors are forced to cancel and pull out and he gets his company back or something. I don't know. It just seems insane that a CEO of a company that has revenues of $333 million for 2024 would be doing this degree of self-harm. Let's grab some more. D3 FEC says, look up the Battle of Athens, Tennessee. Indeed. Crazy Larry says, Timcast in a AAA video game, NASCAR 25. That's right. Did you guys know that? Timcast is in NASCAR 25.
Oh, the NASCAR driver that we sponsor.
Right. Cody Dennison, we have the car right there behind me.
That's awesome.
It's right. Wait, put it back. Right there. That's the Timcast car. That's Ice Age, Magic the Gathering, and Fallen Empires. This is right here, the NASCAR model car Cody Dennison gave it to me. We sponsor him, Arca Racing, and I think he's got a pickup truck as well as a car.
He does.
Yeah, and it's in the NASCAR video game.
There's
so cool. It's like I'm grateful, eternally grateful. It's amazing. Shout out Cody.
Now, granted, this isn't going to be in the NASCAR video game, but there is a lawnmower. That's the Timcast lawnmower.
That's true too. There is a
race,
Timcast lawnmower racer. Yeah, we can mod the game.
Yeah.
So I think is the game out now? Because we're getting a copy for sure. We've been talking to Cody about it. He's been sending me images of it too. When did it come out? Coming out November 11th. Yeah. Yo, that's crazy. It's super cool. I'm a big fan. You know, like Allison and I were playing poker one day. This is before the baby, and on all the TVs was Arca Racing, and we're like, holy crap! Like we're watching the Timcast car on TV. So cool, super cool. The One Freeman says Hillary Clinton claiming it's not his house is rich, considering she had to return a bunch of furniture when she and Bill were evicted from the same house.
Yep.
It's not his house.
Evicted. From the
She was
same
evicted.
house. Get out of here.
All right. The Laughing Dead says, shout out to Tony. He's a good dude. Won't even take hit piece money.
Why are you
The
laughing
amount
at
of
that?
the amount we talked about this in the green room, like the amount of people who have offered me money to not run articles is notable.
This one's funny. Reggie Dan LZ says, I'm starting to feel like Tim's mad because he didn't know canned goods were lined with plastic. Yes. That is quite literally what I said I am mad about. He adds, or this is over his friend. Indeed, it is not. The only reason I didn't go after Liquid Death sooner was because I was friends with Richie, who was on their team. When they fired him, I said, okay, I don't got to be polite to you guys anymore. That was basically the gist. Richie went out of his way every day to make sure that he was promoting Liquid Death. So I was like, I'm not going to start a big spat and go after Liquid Death. And I got to be honest, I tweeted one thing and I thought that was it. Like I tweet at companies all the time. I tweet things about, Taco Bell and what it does to your gut and the next day. But I love Taco Bell.
It's so
Nobody
good.
from Taco Bell attacks me or anything like that. So when they fired the entire skate team, I was like, there's nothing holding back my my concern over what they do. Coca-Cola doesn't claim to destroy plastic. Sprite, PepsiCo, they don't say death to plastic. They don't tell you you're fighting plastic. They're not trying to mislead you. And so I'm quite literally angry that we spent thousands of dollars on liquid death because I thought aluminum can and death to plastic and infinitely recyclable meant it was a metal can. Infinitely recyclable is a lie. It's just not true. And he said 80% of people are buying for recyclability. He's lying. You can't recycle those cans infinitely because they have plastic in them.
Yep.
You have to burn the plastic off, which creates emissions, has to be filtered out, and the filters become garbage. And the cans are only upwards of 70% recycled because you need what's called virgin aluminum for structural integrity of aluminum cans. So he keeps playing this game where he's trying to insinuate there's no plastic and the cans are infinitely recycled. And he told me on the show that I said, if I drink this, melt the can down, can it be reformed into a new can? He said, yes. That's a lie. So what I don't like is if he came out and said, I'm sorry, I didn't realize people weren't aware of this. We thought because there's substantially less plastic, it was better. I would have been like, I feel you. Instead, he was like, nope, we're fine. F you, apologize. And I was like, okay, dude. But for the rest of you, smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. We're going to the uncensored portion of the show. That'll be at rumble.com/Timcast IRL. Follow me on X and Instagram at Timcast. Join the Discord server at timcast.com. Tony, do you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, if you're a Texan and you're listening to this and watching, you need to follow us. We're like a must follow for Texans that are into politics. We're a right-leaning organization, just at Current Revolt on Twitter, but more preferably currentrevolt.com.
Right on.
Tony, it's been very chill having you on IRL. I love your journalism, and I would like to see more people in the media space follow your lead. You're a great inspiration, I hope.
Appreciate it.
To me and to many others. My name's Elaad, everybody. I'm a White House correspondent here at Timcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you are celebrating Diwali, please have a good Diwali.
You're not a White House correspondent. You are the
White House correspondent here at Timcast.
You need to get the credit for where it's due.
You're the only one.
I am Phil That Remains on Twix. I just did a feature, a new song called Cannibals by a band called Zillion. You can go to Spotify right now and download it. Check it out. I'm really proud of how it came out. If you want to check out my band is All That Remains. You can check us out on Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube, and Deezer. Don't forget, the left lane is for crime.
We will see you all at rumble.com/Timcast IRL in about 30 seconds. Thanks for hanging out.